What is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome to another installment of the Casually Chelsea Show. Welcome, everyone. Well, we've had a very interesting day of football, I would say. I think football won today. And I think most of you guys in my chat are going to agree. But before we talk about everything, obviously, I'm accompanied here by Oliver, my co-host here, as well as myself, Marshall EBDX. More people on the panel will probably come as the show goes on. You guys already know how this works. If you're a returning viewer, be sure to smash that like button if you haven't done so already. I keep forgetting to do this, but if you watch this on the replay, by the way, I'll say hype up the video as well. Helps out the channel tremendously with its growth. I see that we've actually starting to grow a good amount from the subscriptions amount. So let's keep this community growing. Let's keep smashing up the like and helping out with the YouTube algorithm. If you are new here, I do suggest you subscribe to the channel because there's going to be plenty of content to talk about even during the international break. So if you want to not, give up on life because there's nothing to talk about, you don't like international break, it's okay. Come to Casually FC, come to Casually Therapy, and we'll be here to help you out during international break. So by all means, subscribe to the channel, memberships, all that fun stuff. And I think there's no better place to start today than to, I guess, talk about what could be the beginning of the end for, you know what? This is a good time to play this. Stay humble, eh? Manchester City beat Arsenal in the Carabao Cup final 2-0. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch the game. I know Oliver wasn't able to watch the game. Prime, any chance that you were able to watch the game at all, by chance, by some miracle? Prime, maybe you're there, maybe you're not there.
Yeah, I watched the game.
All right, so what's your analysis of the game? Did it go how you thought it would go? Did you predict City were going to win? Did you predict Arsenal were going to win?
I thought Arsenal would win. I predicted them to win 2-1. I thought Arsenal would just stink out the game and do enough to cross the line. Kepa starting. I understand why he starts because a lot of managers do that. If you have a cup goalkeeper, you start him throughout the tournament. Yeah. Arsenal didn't lose because Kepa started, though. The way Arsenal played, particularly in that second half, they would have lost even with Raya in goal. So, yeah, City were the better team. And just shows that if City had just found some sort of form of consistency, I don't know, maybe they could have done enough to keep pressure on Arsenal for them to crumble. Maybe not, but for anyone who thinks this makes a difference for the title race, it doesn't. It's 9 points. It's too many. It's too many points with little games to spare for it to make a difference. So yeah, that's how I look at it. But congratulations to City. Congratulations to Pep. fully deserved. Arsenal, I don't know. The crash out from Arsenal fans is a bit weird to me because you're still going to win the league. So I don't know why you guys shouldn't crash out now. You guys still believe you're a great team and everything, so you guys shouldn't be crashing out.
Well, I wouldn't be so positive about their league chance because I understand it's 9 points right now with a game in hand. If City win their game in hand, it's 6 points, and then if City were to beat them in the league, it then becomes a 3-point gap.
That's assuming City win every game.
Yeah, it's also assuming Arsenal win every game too, but
not necessarily.
I don't know.
I think one's more likely than the other.
Arsenal don't have to win every game. They just have to make sure that they don't lose any games. I don't see Arsenal losing another game in the Prem.
Well, if they get 3 draws and then City happen to win 3 times, like the math's not impossible is what I'm trying to get at. And when it comes to the mentality of this team, we've seen time and time again, like when Arsenal go through a little bit of a slump, it does leak into the league form. There was that little slump that they had in January where United ended up beating them. I think they ended up drawing to Liverpool. Like they struggled a bit.
I think the problem with Manchester City, the problem with this discussion though, is I think you have to bring into question somewhat the mentality of Manchester City. I mean, we can look at what happened with us, drawing to Callum McFarlane, and then I know recently they dropped points to Nottingham Forest as well, who are in a relegation battle. So
Spurs.
That too, yeah, both times.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So. No, I think like you're asking too many things to happen. Like I don't think it's probable that City win every game. And then Arsenal like lose at the Etihad and also lose maybe another game or two. Or draw every that means you're basically saying Arsenal don't win another game this season, which I don't see that happening.
No, yeah, City would have to be perfect, which is not happening.
Yeah, and even if City are perfect, the league could still end up being 6 points or 5 points.
Yeah, for sure.
And by the way, the Champions League won't hinder Arsenal because they can. Arsenal will be able to, if they wanted to, would be able to rotate against Sporting Lisbon.
Yeah, the path Arsenal have.
That's just the level of opposition they're playing.
It's Mickey Mouse until Barca.
Yeah, pretty much. I just don't see Arsenal not dropping points from here until the end of the season. But it's also up to like what you guys said, right? It's up to City. Is this a City that could string like 15 games in a row, winning 15 games in a row? No, it's not. I mean, it's definitely not that City. But Arsenal aren't as undefeated or as unbeatable as people have made them seem to be overall this whole season. But who knows? I mean, I'm banking more on the chance that this result affects them negatively mentally, and that might leak into their Premier League form. But
we'd be asking for the biggest collapse we've seen in football for this to happen.
Well, when you think about it, they lost their first chance at a trophy this season. The quad conversation is now out the window. Not that it ever should have been in this realm, but now you have 2 weeks to dwell on it because you just went into international break.
Yeah, but you also have. They don't have another. It's not like they have another game midweek or next weekend. This 2 week break is enough time to kind of get over it and then just go win your next game. Yeah, the next game is in the FA Cup. If they win that,
my thing is will Arsenal drop points for the rest of the season? They'll probably drop a point here or there, but City also will. So in that sense, that's why I think it's too late. They're both going to drop points until the end of the season, but Arsenal already built the lead. So
if 7 games left, 8 games left. If there was 20 games, then I'd be like, yeah, this is enough for
City and City have to visit. And City had to visit us, bro. And knowing us and the clowns that we are, we'll probably take points off them, bro.
Nah. Well, City will beat us. That won't matter. But if there was more games left, then I could hear it. I could hear it, but it's 9 points now.
It's too little, too late. If they beat West Ham, I'll hear the conversation. I'll have a discussion.
Bro, even the game in hand City have, that's no guarantee. It's 9. If it was still 5 or 6 points, then I'd hear it. But it's 9. there's no guarantee they win their game in hand. City are not beating Arsenal at the Etihad. I think Arsenal will stink out a 0-0 draw.
Yeah, I think
Even
Arteta's gonna play
in a 3,
they need that 0-0.
yeah, I think it's unfortunately it's Arsenal.
But you know what it is? This is the way I look at it. Like, if we're being quite honest, had history flipped another way, this could have been like an era of Arsenal dynasty. So if they leave challenging for the league like 5 seasons in a row with one league, that's fine by me, bro. If all they get is the one league out of 5 attempts, that's fine by me, bro.
Yeah, because like the law of averages say if you challenge 4 times, you have to win 1.
Exactly. So
that's why I thought Arsenal would fall off this season, because they've challenged 3 years in a row. I thought they'd fall off now, and they didn't. They won it. So.
But listen, also, like, I gotta say, man, it was great to see him lose. Though they needed this humbling. By the way, I didn't know that Arsenal could play the ball this quickly. By the way, I just thought it was part of the game plan to always, delay time. But funny to see that no Arsenal players really going down off contact this game. I just think that was interesting. I think it was interesting how every throw-in and set piece was taken with a level of speed that I just didn't know that Arsenal was was able to do. I just thought that was interesting. Final 20 minutes of the game and Arsenal didn't waste a single second. No, interesting, man, interesting.
By the way, for those of you in chat that don't get it, so RSM is being sarcastic. RSM is implying that Arsenal love to waste time when they're winning games and it favors them. But when they have to make a comeback, all of a sudden, we don't need the rule to rush set pieces that they're going to implement. We don't need time wasting rules implemented now. All of a sudden, they learn how to play football. All of a sudden,
I think City win the FA Cup.
You think so?
Who do City plays? They face Liverpool, right?
Yeah.
No, true.
I think City win the FA Cup.
Yeah, they could, for sure.
So
soundboard sounds fucking crazy.
To be
fair, like City are already out of the UCL. Arsenal still has to travel.
Yeah.
So it's funny, and where people were talking about Arsenal winning 2 trophies, potentially a treble, potentially a quad.
The quad killed me, bro. Please have some decorum, man. There have been better teams that didn't win a quad.
The fact that they even 2 trophies this season, and Arsenal only.
But that's the funny thing about Arsenal fans, man. They love to put themselves in conversations they don't belong in. Like, we're gonna beat Chelsea's not clean sheet record. That's United defensive record for the season, goals conceded record for the season. It's like, brother, please. They gave up on that in January. I think in January they lost. They already conceded more goals than that Chelsea team. And based off the highlights that I'm watching, like, it looks like City could have definitely had more chances to score. So I think it's a deserved result based on what I can see. I don't know, Scott or Sam, you want to add anything before we move on?
Didn't watch the game.
No, I watched the game. To be honest, I think Pep did what I think a lot of teams should have done. Is you need to give Arsenal the ball to their center backs and then just man mark every single one of their midfielders, and they can't do anything. Like, they do not have the ability. Like, if you cut off every single passing lane to the midfield, the center backs just recycle the ball and then play it long and you win it back. It's actually crazy how easy it was. Gyökeres is a bum, by the way. Gyökeres is a bum. I told everybody I rate Nketiah. I love Nketiah. However, I told everybody that the one weakness that I still see in Nketiah's game is that if you put him up against a good dribbler, you can get by him. If you give Nketiah a PMP merchant, he'll lock you down 100%, like a 100% success rate. You'll never get by him just being a PMP merchant. He'll eat you alive. But if you can dribble and you can make him second guess, you can get some change out of him, and that's what we saw this game. But listen, shout out Pep for that. I think it was a really, really good tactical switch up. Like, they never pressed the Arsenal center back. Not a single person in Arsenal's back line got pressed today. They just man marked the midfield and dead, absolutely dead. Declan Rice, absolutely disgusting. Saka is finished at 24. He's running like they injected cement into his hamstrings. I like, it's actually really sad what Arteta did to this kid. It's absolutely finished. What else? Shout out Raya, man. I think, people were saying, Chelsea has a bad record. Yo, like, I just, like, bro, like, people really, really thought like that. Oh, if Raya played, it was, they were gonna say. People need to be honest, right? People need to be honest. Even if Raya played, right? I do think City still end up winning this. If you look at Arteta's game plan, like, where was any type of idea of we're going to attack? Tell me what Arsenal's attack plan was this game. Because I see I see so many Arsenal fans. I saw Troops' reaction. He's like blaming Arteta as if the only reason they lost was because Raya didn't start. I'm telling you right now, even if Raya started, what was your game plan to attack? I did not see any game plan to attack from Arsenal, really. I really didn't. They were hoofing the ball long and hoping for the best. That is not a game plan.
No, I think with the goalkeeper situation is I just kind of poke fun at it because we all know Kepa's track record at that stadium, and he did it again. So
I'm telling you,
jokes.
It's not a Chelsea Wembley curse, bro. It's a Kepa curse, bro. It's a
Havertz curse as well. You see the chance he missed in the 6th minute.
Well, I don't even know if I'd consider it a chance miss. He's just trash.
Damn.
Like he just doesn't have that. He doesn't have that finish. By the way, I told everybody, even when Havertz was here, and I got absolutely fried for it. I'm like, listen, shout out Havertz for that UCL final goal, but 80% of that goal was Ederson parrying it back into the running Havertz, and nobody wanted to hear it. People called me a hater.
Bro, even Mount broke his Wembley curse before Havertz and Kepa.
Bruh.
It's nasty work, man.
Yeah, I mean, hey, at the end of the day,
I agree. By the way, Danny, that's true. By the way, I had not seen a single "Thank you, Chelsea" quote going anymore. And by the way, we told everybody. We told man. Indeed, we told man. We told them, bro. Madueke is the same player. At the beginning of the season, we were getting gaslit by pundits. Oh my god, I've never seen Madueke play like that.
He's worse. He's worse.
Arteta's unlocked him.
Dude, he is worse. And he's playing like a man revived. You know why he's playing worse? Because he's playing around worse attackers. So it's like he's even worse. But this is the thing. And Marshall, we told them good performance, bad performance, mid performance. The only thing that is guaranteed with Madueke is you are not getting a single GA out of him. Like you're just not.
Pretty much. Yeah, no, we told people, like, listen, you can pretend that Arteta touched them in a magical whatever way that unlocks his full potential, whatever the fuck you want to talk about.
What do you mean by that?
But we can all see, man. Like, that's the same Madueke that was missing clear-cut chances and goals at Chelsea, man. Yeah, great. He could run at the defender. He can create a chance here or there. But, man, you could put him 2 yards away from goal.
I've just realised, by the way, I've just realised he's cursed at Wembley too because he was laughing after we lost to Liverpool.
Yeah, he can hold that one.
Everyone
can hold it. Havertz can hold it. Luckily, Jorginho's
did you see?
Not there, so
did you see
Lee
Gunner crash out?
I did hear that. Why is he smiling?
Why is he laughing?
Why is he smiling?
I can't believe we got the sequel for Why Is He Laughing, bro? It's such a
I mean, serious. We'd love to see it. I just hope it continues on. Obviously, we still got 7 more games left of the season, but hey, fingers crossed that we can see this emotional breakdown one more time. So if you're a Chelsea fan, fuck it. Even if you're a Spurs fan, this could give you a little break from thinking about the
Marshall, they lost 3-0 to Nottingham Forest today.
Hey man, this is a little break from the nightmare that you guys are currently in, just to laugh at other people's misery as well. Even though, yeah, I would hate to be 1 point off relegation right now. That'd be horrible. But hey man, we might be 3 years away from that.
No, I know Spurs fans aren't celebrating right now. Their manager that's meant to be saving them has now got a family bereavement, so he can't even focus on the team now. And obviously, condolences to Igor Tudor and whatever, but they're just not in a good way right now.
Yeah, I mean, condolences to Spurs. These guys are going down, bro. I'm not gonna lie. These guys are actually going down. No cap.
Talking of 1 point, that's the amount of points Strasbourg are currently getting. So, 1 win and 8 for them in the league. Hello?
Wait, what
happened? I told you. We're not getting UCL and Strasbourg.
Strasbourg's only hope, by the way, of getting Europe is winning the Conference League. That's literally their only hope of getting Europe this season.
Yeah,
but because they are, as things stand, 8 points off of 6th, which would be Conference League.
Don't worry though, Scott. We needed their players, bro. For real.
100%. I can't wait until we get who is it? We get
players. We took their players and we took their managers just to be this bad, bro. Awesome, man. This is great. Great planning.
Woo.
I saw a tweet the other day that Anselmino's played like less than 20 minutes for them. Something.
Lovely. Yeah, he has. He's been injured the whole time, bro.
That brother's injured.
Lovely. All right, well, let's get into the Chelsea things, all right? So we'll start off, light, and then we'll get into the great topics that have been going on in the last 72 hours. This whole protesting has really jumped up the queue pretty quickly. But we'll start with this one. UCL Spots pretty much determined here. that. All right, Scott. Let me just get through the good stuff
Sorry, brother,
too.
I can't lie to you.
You gotta do some
No,
appetizer
no,
before you get to the main course, bro.
No, Martin, do you know how bad it is? Before we even get into this, I don't think I've ever been less enthused, bothered, whatever about talking about
that's a
anything
good point.
with Chelsea. Like you
No,
could have told me. I'm going to be so honest. You could have told me someone at Chelsea had been shot, and my reaction probably would have been, "Who cares?" Like I promise you, I don't think I've ever been less enthused talking about anything to do with Chelsea.
Hey, I'm there with
I'm here
you.
for vibes. I'm literally here just for vibes. That's
We're
it.
here for vibes, which is great. We don't even need to do a whole. We might not even do 2 hours today because I don't think it's a really jam-packed show. So listen, nice, short, and sweet, vibes only. We're here for it, man. UCL Spots, pretty much. This is just news confirming one more draw by any English club in the Champions League, Europa League, or Conference League will secure the Premier League an extra spot in Champions League. That means the entire Premier League top 5 could qualify directly for Champions League. We already kind of knew this was going to happen, but now this just solidifies it. Next. Any team, I'm gonna assume Villa, Forest, or who else is in here? Arsenal or
Crystal Palace still in the Conference League.
Liverpool.
Yeah, Palace, Arsenal, Palace,
Bro, they're
Arsenal.
they're gonna get a winner or draw, bro. One of the two.
Yeah, exactly. And that
is guaranteed.
solidifies our 5th spot. If we get the 5th spot, who knows? But if we don't, maybe better.
I think, and this is my biggest issue is if we finish 6th, there's a chance we can still be in the Champions League, and that bothers me.
I don't think
that's only if
there is.
wins,
So
right?
if Villa finish 4th and they win Europa, I saw that 6 would get UCL, and that is there's a probability that's a non-zero chance. Like that's a decent chance that I first of all I no longer think that Villa are going to drop out of the top 4 because I think we're that bad. Us and Liverpool are that bad. I think the top 4 is going to be Arsenal, City, United, Villa, and then it's going to be us and Liverpool. And that being the case, I think we're gonna get 6th. And then if Villa you win Europa, then we get UCL.
I could see that scenario. That looks like a likely scenario.
There's a chance, bro. There's a chance.
If I was a betting man, I'd put a bet on that one. But like, I just, one thing that does bother me about this, Chelsea outside of Chelsea, it's just the fact that how the fuck does the Premier League have 5 spots? I feel like we've kind of embarrassed ourselves in this UCL. I can't lie. Like, just think about it. All the teams that got knocked out in this last round.
But the thing is, because we have more teams, we have more chances to collect the points necessary, bro.
Yeah,
and you got to remember that bro, in the league phase, isn't it every team landed in the round of 16 immediately? Except Newcastle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro. That's a lot of points,
Newcastle.
That's so many points, bro.
They base it on the coefficient. You got to remember, in recent years, Manchester City won the Champions League. West Ham won the Conference League. We won the Conference League. We've been picking up these as a league. We've been picking up some of these trophies.
The Europa final was two English teams.
Yes, but Spurs won the Europa League. This league's been picking up the points. When it comes to the coefficient.
It's just so baffling to me because it's like you look at what happened this last round. On aggregate, what was it? 8-2 or 7-2 Newcastle. Then obviously Tottenham got mollywopped. More respectable than us. We got 8-2'd. Like, it's just holy shit. And then you have, City and City got held 6 on aggregate, 7 on aggregate. I don't know. The only teams that really didn't embarrass themselves were Liverpool and Arsenal. So it's just like, why the fuck do we deserve 5 coefficient points? Fucking Bodo Glimt and Sporting went out more respectively than we did. Like, fuck, dude.
The thing is, this is what this new model of Champions League qualifications designed to do. It was meant to be like UEFA's alternative to the Super League.
Mm-hmm.
You reward teams and leagues based on their historical standing or recent performances or whatever, not in the now.
Yeah, it's just baffling to me. Like the quality of the Premier League has been so poor, and it's also translating into Europe how poor it's been. But I mean, hey, listen, the rules are the rules. We have a coefficient spot now. Hopefully next season the Champions League will be better for Premier League teams. Maybe, hopefully, we're involved in that conversation. I know United's going to be involved in that conversation, and it's going to be interesting to see if they don't get grouped out like they did the last time they were in UCL. But hey, no one's here to hold anyone accountable. I'm just saying things. But all right, let me go on to the next topic then. And I'm actually gonna skip this one because no Chris here. But we'll go ahead and go into. Listen, guys, Fabrizio Romano came out and said the thing that we all kind of knew was going to happen, and now this even solidifies that it's going to happen more than we thought before. And that's pretty much Fabrizio saying that the name already identified to become the next Man City manager after Pep Guardiola is going to be Enzo Maresca. I hope this happens. I really do. I really hope it happens. I really hope he cooks and it embarrasses the fuck out of Blue Co. That's what I hope for. And then we can see press conferences like this again.
Because too young, because not experience.
Except he's not going to say too young or because not experienced. He's going to just say because we're just so fucking
He's literally
good.
I'll tell you, first press conference, he'd be like, wow, this is, a winning culture here. The owners are willing to, we're going to get shit.
You know what he's going to say? Instead of too young, he's going to say internal solutions.
It's a club that has the internal solutions. Jesus Christ, bro.
Yeah, bro, we're getting dunked on, bro.
Yeah, we're getting dunked on. And he's going to do really well at City because he's got that combination of like just good quality, experienced players he can rely on. Doesn't have to try to shoehorn in a bunch of youth players just to get them minutes, just to get their values going, whatever. It's just, bro, just win the league. It's an ambitious club. Who would have thought? A manager wants to win shit. And that's where he's going. He's going to a club that wants to win things. He's not worried about developing its youth. He's not worried about flipping for profit. He's just worried about winning. And that's your profit right there. Who would have thought? What a odd concept. Yeah. Oh, look who joined. Great timing. Yeah. The man who promised me that this guy was going to go to Juve. It's looking more and more like he's going to go to City based on what Fabrizio said here. But, Ahmed, you might be there, you might not be there, but yeah, you can hold that, bro.
What am I holding? I don't think. Listen, I'm telling you right now for free. I don't think Pep leaves at the end of the season. So if he doesn't leave, where is he?
I'm at holding. I'm there, man. I'm alive.
Yeah. So he doesn't go anywhere. He waits until City. That's you go.
Marshall, there is no man that's gonna wait 2 whole seasons of football to go to one club, bro.
Zidane for France.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, Zidane is a extremely special case. Okay,
he must have. I'd assume Zidane has ventures outside of football as well.
Yes, he has to.
Yeah, Maresca does too. He goes fishing with his dad and shit.
I think
all types of shit, bro.
I think on Maresca, after the bullshit that's been going on at Chelsea, and seeing how Rosenior is being treated, Maresca's not an idiot. I think he's gonna make sure his next job, he's gonna be very smart about it. That's not even me necessarily saying he's gonna go City, but I don't think he should. He doesn't need to just jump at the next job that becomes available.
That's what I'm saying.
I do think that there's a little bit of a point to what Ahmed's saying about how long will he wait, because if we're believing, which I'm assuming we all are, that he walked from the Chelsea job, then I'm assuming that would have foregone. He foregoes a lot, if not all, of his payout, basically.
Yeah, but even for an extra,
because he wasn't sacked.
But if we're saying he could get a top jobs become available all the time.
You're ridiculous, bro.
So it depends. He's still a snake. All right, Daniel.
All right.
No one cares what you think about Chelsea.
We were talking to the Zerbi while we had Maresca, but are we snakes? No. But if it's the other way around,
Marshall, you're forgetting that Daniel doesn't like Maresca anyway. The reason why he doesn't like Maresca is because he's bald.
Yeah, there you go, man. You can hold his version of Chelsea then, man.
He literally said that on Lewis's stream, by the way. That's not even me making it up. But regardless, yeah, you can say what you want to say. You're so wrong. But yeah, regardless, top jobs become available very often. So I'm not even saying say it's City that he wants to go to. but there are top jobs that can be available. Like Arbeloa is not going to be the permanent Real Madrid manager unless they win Champions League, so that could be a possible place. Juve will be available in the summer. Inter
He
will
could
be
even go to
available.
PSG to an extent. I don't think he would, but
Depending if
Well,
Enrique goes. Like, but the
because
point
Enrique
is,
hasn't
top
re-signed,
jobs-
I heard.
but top jobs will be available, so he doesn't need to just jump at a job. He can wait it out a bit. And if he waits it out, and if he's only been gone, he only left in January, so it's not 2 years he'll be out of a job.
Just not forget too, at the end of the season, United are going to be in the market. They're going to be looking for a manager if they don't
Yeah,
stick
of course.
with Carrick.
Bro, there's gonna be the thing is there's gonna be so many. There's going to be so many
Yeah.
manager switch ups because of the World
And
Cup. bro.
also, oh hey Charlotte,
Big
and
up,
also
Charlotte.
people need to also remember, like, the longer Chelsea are keep being shit, the better it looks for Maresca.
This is true.
Yeah, of course, bro.
Like he doesn't need to just jump at anything. Maresca looks like the best manager in the world right now.
Everything this guy said came to pass, bro.
Yeah.
He's like the defense. I need better
I
defenders.
said I need a
Lo and
center back.
behold.
We can't play end-to-end football.
Yep.
You know, say listen, cool man. It's what you guys wanted, Daniel. This is what you wanted.
They-
You wanted Maresca gone, right?
Prime.
You don't
They
like
said
it,
they
you
said the
don't.
football was too structured and holding back our attackers, bro.
Yeah, man. This is what you wanted.
Little did they know the attackers needed to be held back because our back line are absolute bums, man.
You're a guy that you love. You love Sanchez. You look shit now because Maresca was actually improving him. Chalaba, you're a boy. He's shit now. Hey, hey, crazy. Hold that. He deserved the
Yeah.
pain. All you Chelsea fans that wanted him gone, you deserve this pain.
Yeah, they do.
I'm
They
not
do.
in
That's
pain.
facts.
I didn't watch our game on Saturday. I enjoyed my Saturday doing things.
Mhm.
I didn't watch it. I'm not in pain.
I mean, I'm assuming you have it right next to you, don't you?
What? What does he have right
The
now?
relic, the relic, the antique.
What, Auntie?
Oh, you're talking about you're talking about this.
Of course, he has it next to him.
You have it right next to him, bro. Every time, bro.
He sleeps with that, bro. I guarantee you, he sleeps with that.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
Oh
for sure,
my
bro.
God.
Imagine he just
Look
tosses.
at it, he
it and he's
cheeses, bro. He
Maresca
cheeses,
out.
man.
Starts snoring again.
Same
Maresca out. Tuchel.
I would actually get beaten up by my girlfriend if that happened. So please, I don't want any.
Who's Maresca?
I don't want any violence, please. Children.
Oh man.
I
Hey,
already get.
I think Prime brings up a good point, and RSM. We're hearing City now, but it also could be other teams. Like there will be teams looking for a manager or a coach at the end of the summer. So listen, Maresca doesn't necessarily need to get a job at the end of the summer. I don't think he's going to stay without a job for forever, but he can afford to wait some time. Because very much like Prime was saying, like the worse Chelsea do, the better it looks for him, the PR wise. Everything he was saying from his department, from his team, his journalists that spoke to him. So, hey, Fabrizio is now kind of confirming it that he genuinely is in those conversations for the City job. Let's see what else Fabrizio breaks down in the future in terms of Maresca. I'm sure we'll hear a lot of stuff come the summertime, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. And you know what? I'll be interested to see how he performs in the next team he goes to, because I really want to know, is it Chelsea? Is it who really holds most of the blame? Maresca? Was it Chelsea? We'll see. Different staff, different people, maybe different style of play. I'll just keep a close eye on Maresca.
Just for the sake of his own career, please don't go Serie A, please.
Don't do that either. Yeah, I mean
it
he might
depends where-
though. He's Italian, so.
I think it
Yeah, but
depends
why would
where-
you go? Why would you go to a dead league? You know what I'm saying?
I just don't.
You go to a
It's their impact on Europe. That's what I'm like. They're not going to do anything in Europe at all. Well, that's the point.
I'm gonna be honest. Yeah,
Maybe.
I am gonna tell you. I can promise you for free. I'm not a betting man personally. I don't usually bet money willingly like that. But if I was a better man on Cauchy,
Ahmed, don't worry. We never
Wonderful.
thought you were a
Cauchy.
better man.
all that nonsense.
I'm
all that
Polymarket, bro.
Yeah, on Polymarket. I know they're agreeing with me, bro. His next job is definitely not City. I promise you that for sure.
I was watching one of our previous streams the other day, And I think Ahmed said that same exact line. I promise you, X isn't gonna happen. And lo and behold, X did happen.
And what was that?
So
mean?
I'm gonna revisit it and then I'll let you know. But I can't remember off the top of my head. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should hold this as my receipts for Ahmed. And then I remembered Ahmed just needs to go on stream by himself and he'll shame himself. I don't need to do it for him.
All right.
Hold that, Ahmed. Hold that.
All right.
But anyways, we'll see what happens with Maresca. And then we'll go from there. Next topic I have here is, one of my favorite news segments is Who. Why do we call it Who? Well, because we have news on some new players that we're interested in. To be fair, RSM, I know this guy. But Chelsea, exclusive here are among hosts of Premier League clubs showing interest in 22-year-old Independiente de Valle dynamic midfielder Patrick Mercado, who can play in the number 10, 8, or 6 roles. Talks have already taken place with Brazilian giants Vasco da Gama and Palmeiras, while European sides Wolfsburg, Braga, and Sevilla have also held conversations, according to Graham Bailey. Yes.
Please let him go to those teams, bro. Please just let him
No,
go to those teams.
hang on. When was this reported?
This is the 23rd of February.
So
about a month ago.
Because there's a chance he has already been signed.
No. You're thinking about the right back, the Ecuadorian right back.
No, not by us. He's already been signed by another club.
Thank God, bro.
All right, good. Who was it?
Sevilla, apparently.
Okay. I kind of just
I'm good.
shoehorned this in because I really wanted to talk about the next guy more than anything. If we can even talk about it. Which is this guy, Said Almala. So,
Said.
Chelsea and Newcastle.
We're signing Said TV, man. Let's go.
Said. Chelsea and Newcastle are throwing their hat in the ring. Big time for Said Almala. Brighton coach Fabian Hertzler is in hot pursuit, but the players gives no current commitment to Brighton. Price requests at least 40 million euros. Bidding war likely, according to Sky Marlin and Burger PJ, which we use as a German source before. Said Almala is being followed. Is being followed by Chelsea. 3 to 4 clubs are trying to enter the race. He's a big, talented German player, super appreciated around Europe. It will be a big fight in the next few weeks for him. That's coming from Fabrizio.
I'm okay mid, bro. It's long, man.
The thing is, our own evidence of signing Bundesliga attackers is already bad enough, but you can just extend it to the rest of the league as well. Like that just proves the point. It's not a Chelsea problem. Like, these players just don't have fundamentals.
Yeah, honestly, watching that,
It's a horrible
just
goal.
go and put the 40 million plus a little bit extra for Iliman and GI and keep it stepping.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'd be happy with that.
We're not gonna
That's
do
what
it,
we
bro.
should be doing, bro. Watching him yesterday just dribble
Bro,
past
Jai
all
doesn't
our.
have enough. And Jai doesn't have enough resale value, man. It's over.
Oh my god.
Oh, what shame? He's
bro.
22, I think, or 23. He's got plenty of resale value.
Not enough for Blue Co. It's ridiculous, man. But yeah, there's just some rumors going around of players we might sign. I don't fucking know. The one thing I'll say, I genuinely don't know what players we're interested in, what targets we're going for in the summer. It's kind of been quiet on that front. I feel like by now we usually hear some noise. But honestly, though, maybe I'm speaking a little too soon.
It's because they've done all their work. We've talked about this before. There is a potential of either 4 or 5 players coming in the summer without us doing any other work and joining this first 11. That's 4 or 5 new players already. Right. With loan, like people returning from loan, and then that's also Omega and Quenda coming in with the deals we've already done. That's 4 or 5 players. Already before we playoffs. And we're still talking about, adding another centre back potentially, adding another winger potentially. You're talking about a potential of adding 8 to, depending on certain transfers, anywhere from 8 to 9 players in one window that are coming in the first team, not reserves, not loan guys, coming into the first team. Unless they decide, the only way that changes is if they decide to reloan Anselmino, which they probably will do. If they decide to reloan Penders, which I doubt they will do. If they decide to loan Omega, which I doubt they'll do. Unless you're going to start loaning some of these guys you brought in immediately, or just giving up on others, Anselmino as an example, we're looking at potentially a third of a new squad joining in one window. Again,
take. Yeah, it's give or take. And the only way
Yeah,
that happens, Scott,
how many did we have
is
in
we
the
all
summer?
know.
We had Santos Asugo. How many did we have in the summer? Santos Asugo, Delap, João Pedro, Gittins Garnacho, Santos. I think I said Santos, sorry, Esteval. And I think that. Oh, and then Star midway through the season. But just in the summer, we had 7 new players in the squad. Oh, 8 new players, Hato. We had 8 new players in the squad in the first 11 in one window. And we're about to do it again.
Yeah, I mean, the only way it happens, though, is if we start selling, which brings me to my next...
Oh, no, we had 9. I forgot about Buenanotte. Shit.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be honest, by the way, just before we go on to this, I also, this is a bit of tinfoil hat from me. I kind of feel like the lack of news, because I bring it back to last summer where for lack of a better term, they blew their load and they basically exposed themselves. The club and these directors, they exposed themselves for not having different targets depending on whether UCL was confirmed versus not. So I think they're trying to keep quiet just to try and keep some semblance of illusion, because again, we know how these people care about their reputations. I wouldn't put it past them.
No, you're 100% right. And I think you got a good point. They don't know what they're going to do until they know how the season's going to end.
No, Marshall, they do know what they're going to do, because as we saw last summer, it doesn't matter. UCL doesn't matter, but they're trying to create an illusion that there are stakes.
Yeah, I should rephrase that in terms of they don't know what they're going to have to redo or have to reinsert money into, or what areas they have to refocus on. Like Scott said, right, there's players already coming in. Now it's a matter of, all right, what else can we buy for the pipeline, or what else should we buy for the first team?
Pipeline.
Who knows?
Yay.
It's gonna be a hassle. But in terms of outgoings, there are some few names that have been thrown out there. We'll start off with these first few tweets. Chelsea sources have made it clear they will not sell either Enzo Fernandez or Moises Caicedo to Real Madrid this summer, according to Graham Bailey. Simon Johnson then reports, there's been a bit of noise lately that Mark Guiu has handed in a transfer request because he wants to leave Chelsea. I am told this is not the case. The striker still loves being at the club and is focused on doing whatever he can to help the team this season. Which, by the way, I can't remember the last time Guiu even played.
Yeah. Probably, he has more goals. He has more goals than Delap, by the way.
It's probably Wrexham,
probably in
right?
the cup.
Yeah, but it's like, is it really that hard to have more goals in the lab, bro? Like, let's be honest.
That's what I'm saying. So I said leave the club.
With the minutes differential, probably is.
like straight up though, who gives a shit if he has? Why is this news?
I'm saying he should leave the club and play somewhere else, because if Delap is still in front of you, even though you have more goals, just fucking leave the club.
Oh no, yeah, CP, that's calm. My point is, like, why is this news? Why is our third choice striker potentially handing in a transfer request?
Brother, it's Simon Johnson, man. I don't know what you expect out of this brother. We know
What
what he is, man.
it's news. Who cares?
We know what it is, bro. It's Simon Johnson, bro. It's because the club wants us to know. That's why, man.
Yeah. The other thing I'll mention too is that it's like no different than the previous manager, right? Like certain players weren't getting any minutes at all. Now it's another manager. He has his favorites. He has his least favorites. No one talks about the players that don't get minutes under Liam Rosenior. I'm just saying. We move on. So this is something that might be good news. Chelsea could try to separate themselves from Alejandro Garnacho this summer if his performances do not improve. It's not yet certain if Chelsea would sell Garnacho in the summer, but it is his performances. If his performances do not improve, he will lose his place in the hierarchy, according to Bobby Vincent. Hey, the Brick Nation, here we go. West Ham will look at signing Axel Disasi permanently if and when they secure Premier League survival. But they do not know Chelsea's asking price and believe his value has fallen considerably since he was bought for £38.8 million from Monaco back in 2023. West Ham will consider signing Axel Disasi on a permanent transfer only if they avoid relegation this season. However, that is only if the asking price is well below the £38.6 million that Chelsea paid. Yeah, and here's another piece of potentially good news. Just in. So this is from March 9th. Sky Cavo reporting that Chelsea still believe in Liam Delap, and behind the scenes they feel he's been unlucky with injuries. That's not the good news I meant. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. Sorry, CP. The message from inside the club is that you have to back him and give him a bit more time because he's still young. Craig Hope.
Scott, you see this?
Bro, I'm giving. How old is Delap, bro? How old is Delap, man?
21, I
20?
think. 21 or something? 22.
No, he's 22.
Yeah.
Oh, he's 22.
He's 22,
Okay.
yeah, man.
Scott, you see how that blue coat mask
man down, bro.
fell off from Marshall?
He's 20. He's 23. Delap is 23. Put that grown man down, bro. Put that grown man down, bro. Put that grown man down. Stop it, man.
Liam Delap is a name to keep an eye on for Newcastle, say sources, even if there is no indication at present that Chelsea would be looking to sell this summer, according to Craig Hope. And then lastly, here from Ben Jacobs, Newcastle are considering a move for Delap, with suitors feeling a deal for Chelsea forward to Stamford Bridge might be possible.
Yes.
Hey, man.
30 million ticket.
The sooner the better.
30 million.
Sure. I'll believe it when I see it.
Oh, and last one. Breaking. Barcelona keeping tabs on Pedro Neto ahead of the summer transfer window.
Bro, Barcelona are dumb enough. Bro, Barcelona are dumb enough. I'm telling you right now, Barcelona are dumb enough.
Ain't no way.
If I trust a team to waste money, it's Barcelona.
Big up FF Polo, whatever this is.
Bullshit. I call bullshit.
CP, you say ain't no way. They were looking at Willian
They've done it.
all those years back.
No, these guys are dumb enough, bro.
Yeah,
I
but,
tell you,
but
there's
that
one
guy,
thing
the
that
guy
I
that was
trust to be stupid, bro. It's them.
left now. I swear that was a different a
Yeah, that was
guy.
a whole different guy. Yeah, I call bullshit right now. There's no way. No way in hell that Barcelona. You're telling me this guy's.
I was gonna say, who's he playing over? Where's he playing? Who are they?
No,
what are they
he's
expecting?
He's not.
He's backup for Yamal. He's backup for Yamal.
Backup, yeah,
They currently have 4 wingers, if memory serves me correctly. Okay, one of them's on loan in Rashford. He's still better than Pedro Neto, and he'd probably be cheaper than Pedro Neto. In all honesty,
But Pedro Neto can play both wings. Scott,
True.
Scott, what are you doing? We're trying to fucking sell him. Shut up. Yeah,
Brother,
he can play both wings.
Bro, he can play both wings in the same sense that I can write with my left and right, but you know. Guys,
What are we doing?
Bro, if anything,
I'm trying to upsell to Barcelona. Okay, let me.
Yeah, bro. Honestly,
Yeah,
it's not the hardest. It's
Barcelona
really easy,
watching
man.
this stream. You know, that's that they're watching this stream.
Come on, hey, Marshall's.
We know Marshall got the connects, man.
No, we know Marshall's part of the Blue Co wallet. Did you see his mask falling off? He said, "Hey, CP, I got some good news for you," and then tells me, "Oh, Chelsea believe that Delap's gonna stay in Chelsea." Look at this Blue Co. Look at this.
By the way,
I meant was that we're interested in selling him.
do you know what Marshall are we though?
What's up? Probably.
I don't know though, because do you know what the thing is with this club? I know people need to leave. I have no idea who's gonna leave. I've literally couldn't tell you who's gonna leave. People need to leave if with these new
I feel
guys.
like this
coming
guy's
in.
gonna leave.
Pedro Neto could leave 100%. It depends if someone pays us the money, but we're at the stage where there are 15 players who could leave in the summer,
Yeah.
and I don't know which of the 15 are leaving.
Disasi is
It's
probably
Schlum- it's
going
Schlum
if
with the
West
majority,
Ham
bro.
survive.
No, Marshall. I'm talking about in our squad currently. There are a
In
good
our squad
10
currently.
to 15 players who could leave. Any of them could leave, and I'm saying it could be any of them. We could end the window with, let's say, in one timeline it's these 6 players leave, in another timeline it's these 7 players leave. I'm telling you, it could be any of them. It's just Delap and Neto are probably on that list. Whether they're still here next season, I think is what I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you who actually leaves or not.
I think Garnacho's in that too, to be honest.
100%, but I can 100% see a world where he's here next season and Neto isn't, and vice versa.
True. Yeah, I mean, all these players that were mentioned here, I'm all for getting them gone. I hope some of these merit fruit, to be honest. Disasi needs to go. I mean, but that's going to depend on, obviously, West Ham. But in terms of first
I
team
don't think
players-
so. I think Disasi will find a way out regardless of West Ham. I think he's shown himself capable. Sorry, Scott.
I say I don't. Alone, yes. I don't know if there's going to be a permanent move because the problem you're going to have is you're right. He's shown it himself at a certain level, which is obviously this defensive setup football, right? The problem you're going to have, I think, is kind of twofold. Number one is I think trying to get a team to pay the money that you're going to want for him, because it's the teams that play that system are going to be lower down in the league, and financially are probably going to be in a slightly worse position than others. And the other thing is, for some of those teams, is whether they think they have better options already in-house. Like, for example, right, he could fit in like Leeds, for example. For me personally, Leeds might think they have better options in-house than him, than going and spending that money on this asset. Like West Ham, it works because their centre-backs are so horrifically bad. They just needed another option, and he's played really well for them. I think it would depend on others, like how their centre-back pool looks, like going forward next season. I do think he leaves. I just think it might be on loan again, is all I'm saying.
No, I hear that.
Yeah, man.
Which doesn't really help us.
No.
We got a laundry list, and there's going to be plenty of outgoings, but it is kind of up in the air because I know there's going to be plenty of players that are going to stay. Yeah, like I said, I hope if it's not West Ham, maybe another club, like you guys were saying. Delap has to go. Garnacho has to go. The only way that we can even dream of getting a improvement on this team is if we get these players out of here first. And then hopefully these incompetent owners run into some solution.
On a serious note,
sure.
I hear the Garnacho thing.
Sure.
I genuinely don't know what we do with this winger group next season. Because, like, as much as I want Garnacho gone 100%, I want Neto gone more because, at least with Garnacho, right? And it's a very, very slim chance of this happening. There is a chance he can improve on what we've seen. With Neto, we've seen the best we're ever going to get from him, right? Like I said, it's a very slim chance. I think Garnacho stinks. But we are
all people on this panel. You're saying that.
I mean,
brother, it's the same for Gittins though, because realistically, all three of them need to leave. They're all shit.
Sure.
Like even if Gittins and Garnacho improve, they don't improve to the level of where we need them to be. But
yeah, the issue with Gittins is the floor is so low. Even if he improves like twice fold,
that's what I'm saying. And it's kind of the case.
It's a mid Premier League winger, bro. That's what we.
And
get.
this is where, like, as much as I don't like it, I kind of ever so slightly understand like the Alan Marler thing. I really don't understand the player, but there's an element I can see of if you're going to cut your losses with at least two wingers, you do need another one. We're already getting one. Well,
we're getting in.
What's going on with Enciso? We've had that conversation before. Let's just
we're
say
getting
he doesn't.
We're getting in Quenda, so that's one winger already.
Yeah, so
we have that needs to leave. That needs to leave, guaranteed. Yeah,
so we've got him and Esteval. Let's just say Gittins stays, right? That's still only three wingers, and that means that Gittins has to start a lot of games. So unless, like Adrian says, I know it's kind of a joke, but unless you try and integrate Mudryk back, I guess, maybe whatever, or you go and get another winger, one of these dudes has to stay. Or, sorry, at least two of these dudes have to stay.
Yeah. My vote would be, I kind of agree with what you're saying. I would probably vote to get Neto gone now, because at least with the younger wingers, you still can take the chance that they could improve as they get more mature, more level-headed. Neto, this is the best we're going to get out of Neto. So this is peak Neto powers. Get him while he's at his best, because it's only going to get worse from here. And it'll be more difficult to offload him from there.
Again, I'm going to say
the price that you want him for
this. You just get rid of Garnacho and Neto, and you bring in Illiman and GI. Problem solved.
Yeah, you guys, because then you get Njai, who's Premier League proven, and Esteval, who is literally the best. Yeah, exactly.
He's then the starting left winger. Gittins is the backup. Comfortable.
Yep, and then you have Kunda and Steva going band for band on the right wing. So
exactly, and you have probably Esteval after he's had a season of bedding in and whatever. He's the starter.
Brother, I just again in the first 5 minutes of Esteval, we already saw more than Garnacho and Edo, bro.
Yep.
Yeah, it's actually kind of a shame because you brought that up. Might as well bring this up. Let me find it because I put it on Discord. I never put it in the show. I saw this in regards to Esteval actually.
I did see the photo of Palmer consoling Esteval, being like, "Listen, this dog shit will leave, man. You deserve better."
It's true, dude.
But this is where
bro, I'm telling you, right, bro. Wallahi, bro. Again, Palmer's a baller. He knows that these guys are shit, bro. He hates Neto. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna convince me Palmer likes Neto, bro. You're just not. You're never convincing me.
But this is where I think
never convincing me. They don't like each other. Like the good players do not like the shit players, bro. Like you're not gonna tell me that for example, Enzo hates Sanchez. By the way, he hates him.
Bro, I think Enzo hates a lot of players in this team.
Yeah, well, to be fair, that's
yeah, I think you're right with the Palmer thing, because like you notice how we did that for Esteval, and then there, like you said with Neto, bro, he's cussing him out like multiple times in the game.
Yeah, bro. It's killing his ass. Bro, I'm telling you.
prick.
It's,
Mhm. So, Esteval, pretty much Athletic came out and said this in regards to the game yesterday. Esteval ran back through Chelsea's half after Iliman Njai's goal, beyond Robert Sanchez to pull the ball from the net and ran all the way back to the center circle to place the ball in front of Paul Palmer. The 18-year-old, who has only been at Chelsea since last summer and back on the pitch just for 6 minutes after more than a month out injured, was the player trying hardest to rally this team. Chelsea needed leadership, unity, most against Everton. There was none to be seen on the pitch at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. I can't read today. Yeah, man, Esteval is the only one really worth keeping. He's been solid. He's been good for the most part. I mean, yes, he's had his mistakes, but for the most part, he's been good this season. Our best winger, easily.
This is another issue we have with the squad, despite everything. Despite the sporting director, actually, to be fair, it comes to the sporting directors anyway, but despite everything, we have. I know I talked about the 10 to 15 players that could leave. All of them need to leave. Like, I'm going to be honest, it's not going to happen. And before people tell me it's not going to happen, I'm well aware it's not going to happen. But we can't go into another season, right? Seeing some of these players, seeing any of those players, like whether it's Gusto for another season. We should not have to go into next season with Gusto in the squad again, by the way. We should not have to go into next season with any of these centre-backs outside of Cole, Josh, and Scott. Like, we shouldn't have to go into another season. We have to, because they will not get rid of all of them. We're going to have to go into next season with at least one or two of Gittins, and Garnacho, or Neto in the squad. We may have to go into next season with the Lap in the squad again. We may have to go into the squad next season with, like, Sanchez or Jorgensen in the squad again. Like, we shouldn't have to, but we will. And we're going to be in the same position of, if you're not going to fully fix the issue in terms of like actual just like cutting out the, the infection, so to speak.
Thank you.
It's going to fester. The infection will spread again.
And on that too, I forgot to mention, there's another one that came out today in terms of outgoings, rumors and shit. Check it out. Santos. Inter Milan really like Andre Santos. In 2025, they met with his agent, but it was not feasible then. Chelsea rejected more than 50 million euros from Saudi too. Let's see this summer whether Chelsea get UCL or not, and what type of choices they will make in midfield. So interest for Santos as well. Santos could potentially be sold.
Like, they're too broke, bro. It's gonna be very difficult for any Italian club us to sell to, because they're so broke, bro.
Can I ask you guys a question? Like, real talk, if we were to sell Santos in the summer, how much do you think we get for him?
We should get over 50. We should get over 50 minimum, bro.
30, 35.
30. Fuck out of here, bro.
30,
No way.
I think 40, 45.
It'll be 30, 35.
Really, I think 80, maybe 70.
80?
Yeah, bro. He's really talented. He's good when he's good.
No, Marshall, you're actually falling into my point here. We won't get 80, regardless of whether he's talented or not. We're gonna get basically what we would have got from Saudi if we'd have just sold him in the summer anyway, because what we've done with him is kind of waste a year, but not fully waste a year. In terms of, if you'd have developed him in the right way this season, and some of it's not completely on managers or sporting directors, some of it has been he's had a couple poor performances, but you could have sold him, or at least asked for 60, 65 minimum. I'm going to be honest, I kind of feel the same as Oliver. I think if you're going to sell him this summer, it's about 45-ish, which we would have got anyway.
Wow.
Because I don't think he's improved really from when he was at Strasbourg. Like, there's some small improvements, but I wouldn't say it's like a huge improvement on his overall game. And he hasn't got the game time. The only thing that might keep the value high is the fact he's probably going to make the World Cup. That would be the only thing. And the fact
I think he's also been decent in the Premier League, which is probably going to be a good mark in terms of his quality, which is why I think we're going to get around 50, bro.
No, we have to look at the wider picture though. He's basically been wasted for all but 2 months. January and February, he was like on fire. March, he's been benched for whatever reason, and then before this year, he didn't play under Maresca. So for all but 2 months, there's been nothing notable.
And I think also that the reason I don't think we actually might sell Santos, but I'm in two minds, because number one, we might have to sell him purely because of the UEFA thing, but also I would find it so weird. Of all the things that Clear Lake have done, I would find it so incredibly weird to sell a guy immediately after his first season where he's been mostly a sub, considering how much you have fought to keep him since you bought him.
Yeah,
I would
true.
find that so weird. Like if they get rid of Delap after a season or Garnacho, it makes sense. They've sucked. It would make like it feels to me like Santos is the one they would try and let have like 2-3 seasons before you decide on whether he's actually good or not. Like it feels like weird to just get rid of him after a year.
Especially considering next season is going to be a midfield battle for a lot of like top teams, bro. Like we know United are looking for one. Again, like Liverpool, City are gonna looking at midfield. Like there's a lot of people that are looking at midfielders. Wharton, Elliot Anderson. There's gonna be more teams that are looking for midfielders. So the fact that next season is going to be a very top 4 midfield market more so than anything else, because this summer everybody got the strikers. This summer was the striker. This summer I think is going to be the midfield battle. So given that, and given the fact that Lavia is injured, like again we cannot rely on Lavia. So given the fact that we can't rely on Lavia, they're most likely going to try to keep Santos. But if they do receive an offer for Santos, I do think it's going to be around their asking price, just because of the fact that, like I said, I'm predicting that this summer is going to be a midfield battle for a lot of teams. So they're willing to pay a higher premium in a market with a higher demand, in my opinion.
I mean, just to address that point directly, I think a problem they might face is the ability to sell Lavia with the injury thing. I think that could potentially be a problem. It wouldn't shock me at all.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know if we'll say. I'll be honest, Lavia. I don't know if we'll fail to sell or struggle to sell. It will depend on the injuries in terms of if he's fit by the summer, we could sell him. Because I think the thing with Lavia, even though he hasn't shown it recently until the Everton game, is he has still shown good performances when he's come back from injury. All it would take with Lavia is just a club thinking they could rehabilitate him. Like, if, I don't know, let's just say Bournemouth, right? Say, okay, like, straight up, you see what they've done with Tyler Adams. Like, it's not been perfect, but he has managed to, like, get a little bit back to fitness with them. Mm-hmm. If they were just, okay, we could kind of run a like Tyler Adams kind of rehabilitation sort of thing with Lavia. Okay, it won't be perfect, but we'll have him for maybe a third or half a season. That's good for us. That's another quality piece of or piece of quality in the midfield. So I think with Lavia, it's a bit easier if you can, like, as long as he doesn't basically have another long-term injury between now and the end of the season, which I know is asking a lot. I think he's actually easier to sell because there is at least something to go off in terms of he also had that season at Southampton.
That's the thing. Like, there's a good quality player there. So if you can... I mean, there have been players that have gotten sold that were known to be injury-prone players, but they still ended up finding a move. I mean, look at Pulisic. Pulisic ends up going to AC Milan, but he was very injury-prone at Chelsea. So it could happen. I don't know if our midfield's going to get touched. I'll be so real. I think we're going to stick with the same exact midfield we have now for next season. I mean, outside of the performances, I mean, in terms of transfers, I don't know if any of our midfields are going to move. But that kind of brings me sort of to the next topic. We'll touch on this whole Enzo thing. But let's before we get into the Enzo stuff, I think we should talk about some of the injuries that are going to be happening or that are happening as of now. A little bit of an injury roundup here. So just big updates on 2 players, essentially. Liam Rosenior says that Trevor Chalobah will be out for about 6 weeks. So the injury was pretty nasty. I'm not going to scroll down because you could see how the ankle was kind of flipped in the wrong direction. But luckily for him, he didn't, break off the ankle completely. It's a 6-week injury. Maybe we see him before the end of the season, but we do have international break now for 2 weeks, so he'll miss about 4 to 5 games when he comes back. And then also to add to this is that Rosenior confirms that Reece James' injury is not that serious, and it's a question of weeks. So he's not out for the remainder of the season. He should be back before we call off the season. But it gets to a point too. I kind of rather just not risk Reece James getting hurt. If you want to be out for the rest of the season, be out for the rest of the season, man. Go and destroy you. So yeah, maybe Tuchel will destroy him. I'd rather he get a chance at the World Cup.
I mean, there's I mean, he's already getting destroyed under Tuchel. There's no denying that anyway. So it is what it is, really.
Yeah, I mean, he's been fit under Tuchel as well. You know that, right?
Yeah, and then how many games was that, Marshall? Before we have
just a few in the middle of our season. He's played. You know,
that's good.
Inverting into midfield,
and that's all well and good. But we know what's gonna happen in the World Cup, don't we, Marshall?
He's gonna be fit and he's gonna finish the World Cup.
I'm willing. I would be willing to cut my hair and go bald that Reece James is not getting into the World Cup.
Wait. You hold on. So wait. If Reece James goes injury free throughout the World Cup, you'll go bald?
Yeah.
I would consider it. Yeah.
No balls. Zero balls. No balls. Nah, he has 0 balls, bro. No.
See?
No, I would.
He doesn't believe it. No, if you really believed it, you would stand on business, bro.
I wouldn't necessarily. Look, I'll do something of equal value. Actually, I'll do something of equal value. I would.
Honestly, there's nothing of equal value to seeing you bald.
Actually,
true.
there is actually something of equal value. Well, at least for me personally. Actually.
Brother, if you're gonna tell me I'll give away the Sasuke jersey, I'm literally gonna. I'll smack you, bro.
No.
Hamid's looking for get a jail card right now.
No. I was thinking which one's worth a lot of money. I would just sell it. And
Ahmed, there's no amount of money that I would take. That like, you're gonna make me
£400
give
is not
up
worth a lot of money. £400 is not a lot of.
Not worth more than seeing you bald.
Not worth seeing you bald. Yeah, not worth seeing you bald. No.
All right then you guys.
You did it yourself. Nobody said Ahmed's going bald. You.
You said this. You put yourself.
Nobody put a gun to your head to say that, bro.
Fair enough.
Gotta hold you to it, man. If he goes the whole World Cup without getting injured,
I'm not going
bald midstream.
Nah, I'm not going bald, but it is what it is. But I would probably if I was again on Casually Network, lads, 40 quid, I'll probably put it down. 40, 50 quid, I'll probably put down.
All right, he's gonna stay fit for the World Cup, and then we're gonna revisit this conversation. We're gonna revisit that conversation we had in the clip that I had for international break that I was working on from a previous stream, and then we'll touch base from there on, man. We'll touch base from there. Yeah, Ahmed can't commit. He knows because he knows there's that chance he might stay fit.
He believes in Reece James, bro. That's why.
Yeah, but hey, Reece is coming back. That's nice to see that he's not out for the World Cup. Reece. I don't really care if he plays for Chelsea for the rest of the season. I'll be honest. I'm kind of checked out. I kind of don't want to get Europe and all that fun stuff. So it is what it is. But hey, if he comes back, plays, and maybe things go well for Chelsea, then good for us, I guess. I don't know what to believe in anymore. But yeah, that's the injury roundup. Chalobah's out for 6 weeks. James coming back sooner than expected. And we move from there to Rosenior's future. Yep, a lot of discussions happening around Liam's future. And rightfully so. Many questions need to be asked about what the hell is going to happen here at Chelsea. So let me start off. I just added a last minute little one here. So there's a big post from Max. You guys probably already know Max is PYS. He did quite a informative post on his personal or his second Twitter account. And so let's read into this. And I think based on his sources, this is what he's gathered. So, starting off with this tweet, Chelsea are behind Liam Rosenior and sympathize that he has come into a situation where the squad is said to be knackered and has not had appropriate time to implement his ideas. Summer target lists are underway with all eventualities being considered, as Chelsea feel UCL qualification will likely come down to fine margins in May. There is no current suggestion that the model will be changed. Chelsea also feel that contract statuses, with many current stars wanting more money, is further proof that it would not be wise to chase signings that would be looking for a high base salary. The club want players to be together as a team and earn their money. There is not an appetite to create an entitled and unhealthy culture, and the cost to risk ratio is high. Directors are working with financial restrictions and the model put in place by Baghdad Bali. There may be an odd exception, but generally this is what I'm told. The club are open to spending high transfer fees, but not salaries straight away. Sources say there is a small split within the squad already over Rosenior's technical plans. Some players feel that his style of play is not in line with the moment of the season, and that he is only making things more difficult, especially with the lack of recovery time between matches. Rosenior said after the 0-3 defeat to PSG that there has to be a recognition that some players have played over 100 games in 18 months. A source replied today, yet has them playing like madmen. Moises Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, and at least 2 other players have rejected at least one proposal for a salary increase in recent months. Malo Gusto is said to be a player who has high ambitions and also looking for a pay increase. You can leave Malo Gusto. In terms of targets, if I've not heard much outside of the usual names like Morgan Rogers, Wharton and Baleba are 2 targets amongst others that the club
I forgot we're gonna buy Morgan
audition.
Rogers, bro. I keep forgetting we're gonna get Morgan Rogers, bro.
That's a guy. But much will depend on what happens with Lavia's fitness, Enzo, and Isugo. On outgoings, it's expected that at least 3 center backs will look to be sold. Chelsea will likely brief confidence in them to not devalue the.
Do they think we're blind?
Yo, they listen to Casually FC. They just worded this differently. Well, we'll brief.
But then
confidence
Marshall
in
wants
them
us to
not
believe he's not a
devalue.
Clear Lake show. Uses the same language as them. Amen.
Like, real talk, do they think this club blind?
Bro, they watch
They do,
Casually
bro.
FC. They know the strategy, man. Play them into play them to get their value going. You know, maintain value.
This is what I'm saying. We need to upsell when you're trashing Neto. I was saying we need to upsell Neto. People are listening.
It's true.
So,
Dieter offers the striker goalkeeper situation is also going to be reviewed, with Liam Delap not doing as well as some inside the club expected. So yeah, a whole bunch of insider news, I guess, from Max there. Enzo Fernandez had the following to say as well. He expressed his unhappiness after Enzo Maresca left the club in relation to Chelsea's current situation. We lost a coach who gave us identity, structure, and direction, and a Club World Cup champion, and no one, not even the players, understands why. Halfway through the season, everything changed. The system collapsed. Stability went with it. How sad. I don't think he actually said that tit for tat, but along the lines he mentioned, because I saw the interview, he mentioned there was an identity with Maresca, and just they didn't understand why halfway through the season he left. Chelsea have not changed their target. Rosenior was expected to bring stability post Maresca, and the expectation remains that he qualifies for Champions League. Chelsea risks not being able to attack key summer targets without UCL, according to Nazar Kinsella.
Bullshit.
Liam Rosenior has a break clause in his contract. This was from January 6th, by the way. Just a reminder, there is a break clause in that contract, which could allude to potentially an exit in the summer. But if Chelsea are to stick to their position with Liam Rosenior, he will stay next season, but we heard Potter was the long-term plan. Pochettino would be given time, even on a shorter-term contract. And the same for Maresca, who was not supposed to be judged until this summer and then went beforehand. For now, Rosenior is safe. It will be important for the project and finances to get UCL. There was also a lot of managers set to be available in the summer, but I am not led to believe as of right now that Rosenior is in any trouble. For now, Chelsea are backing Rosenior, but I think all parties are going to wait until the end of the season, at which point they will have more data and time. Ooh, we love data. And then we will see what Chelsea decide to do. I will not be surprised if they change yet another manager. However, there are high expectations this season and in general from the CFC hierarchy, according to Ben Jacobs. Rosenior has been spending increased time with Winstanley and Stewart of late, along with their other recruitment leaders in Joe Shields, Sam Jewell, and Dave Follows. They have been having detailed conversations surrounding the summer, specifically looking at which positions they should strengthen. That included over the last week.
What's that one meme? Is always 2 dumb bitches saying exactly. Yeah, bro.
I've not seen the meme, but I get what you're saying, and
By the
that's
way,
hilarious. Yeah.
That all of that nonsense, by the way, about the target is still top, like Champions League or whatever. That report that's going to come out when he gets to next season and he's given a preseason, that report of the club believe he didn't have he didn't have a preseason.
Didn't have the time. Yeah, he didn't have the time and the players.
The preseason
This is ready already, Scott.
Hey, bro, that's
They're
going to
getting
hit
the
like
PR
crack.
ready.
That
They're
is
getting
going
the
to
PR
hit
ready
like
way ahead of time.
crack cocaine.
Mm-hmm. It's great. I'm already hearing the PR before it comes out. One source says Liam Rosenior has had much more involvements in these types of conversation with the sporting directors, with the sporting leadership team than his predecessor Enzo Maresca. It suggests they are looking at a longer future together despite social media speculation. Described to us as nonsense by one of the insiders, saying Chelsea are already losing patience with their hire from Strasbourg. And then Graham Bailey, the last tweet I have here, this is more recent today. The Chelsea hierarchy remain fully behind their head coach, Liam Rosenior. There is a firm understanding internally at Chelsea that stepping into the role mid-season presents significant challenges, both in terms of implementing tactical ideas and managing a squad assembled with different visions in mind. The club are keen for Rosenior to have a full preseason to properly end his philosophy. All right. Well, what is it? What is it? You guys expect UCL football, but at the same time, you understand that it's tough to come into the middle of a season and implement your philosophy. Well, yeah, no shit. That's why when you come in the middle of a season, you don't implement a fucking philosophy. You fucking try to win games the best you can, and then you have a preseason to do so. You dumb fuck. But who am I?
Maybe you just don't sack the manager.
Random. Maybe you just don't make it impossible for a fucking manager to work in their environment. Maybe you make it a nice environment like Google or some shit where people are happy to work there. And whatever. Now you have managers that are willing to walk off. If Rosenior leaves, no fucking manager is going to look at the Chelsea job and be like, I really want to work there. They look like they are fair and they pay well.
Brother, no manager already
let me work.
I'll be with you, man.
It's bullshit. It's all this is bullshit. It's all the PR. I'm hearing the PR before it comes out in the summer. Ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. What are you guys saying, man?
I guess that this pre-season talk, I don't have any sympathy for Rosenior over a lack of pre-season. It's very telling, like the way he joined the club. To join mid-season, and that's basically you giving up your preseason. All that tells me is that you don't believe in your own abilities enough that when the opportunity comes swinging back around again for a permanent manager in the summer, that you'll be in the conversation. And that doesn't breathe confidence into me. I'm sure it doesn't breathe confidence into these players that Liam Rosenior himself thinks that he's the man to take this forwards. It just doesn't scream of confidence at all. And it's the same criticism that you could have had for Ruben Amorim at Manchester United. If that preseason was so valuable to you, then you should have waited for it.
There's nothing really to be said. I don't know. Like, again, it's just the same old talking points. I'm not really sure what else we can say at this point. I just don't know.
You said, well, I don't know. You had two trains of thoughts. You did mention that, when they come out and say we're gonna remain fully behind the manager, that's the signs that he's probably gonna go. But
they've already said it before. Like they keep saying, like we know. I feel like again we know what the playbook is. We know what's going on. The issue then becomes again who you bringing in after this. How are they then gonna work? How are we then implementing stuff? The signings we're bringing in. I think also there's also the thing of like, and I don't want to say it like this, but there is also the thing of like turnover, right? If your turnover is too high, the squad turnover is already high as it is. Yeah, there's no continuity and there's no anything of the sort either. So like you're not helping yourself out at all.
Yep.
They don't care about turnover though.
Well, they should because you know what, Oliver, you're right. They don't care because they don't associate any type of statistical impact from a manager to a team. So they can just put any Joe Schmo in that position, which it just baffles me because, okay, if you really believe that the coach doesn't have any statistical impact on the results on the field with a team, then why the fuck go through all these interviews, all this short list of managers? If it doesn't matter that much, then fuck it, man. Give it to the first manager that accepts the job. The first manager is going to be willing to deal with shit.
They do it because it's waffle, and you can tell they're already running out of excuses. You don't have the tweet, Marshall, but there was another brief that came out today that said that that this squad wasn't built for Rosenior. Excuse me? Excuse me. We have we have 5 sporting directors, but now you're backpedaling and saying that supposedly we still build this squad for managers. And by the way, just on that point,
we build squads for managers, but also there's no relationship between the managers and the club.
And by the way, just to continue my point, by the way, who from this previous summer transfer window, who from that window was an Enzo Maresca signing? I'd love to know. Because it certainly wasn't a centre back.
It's just for me, I just think for me personally, I don't know what. I think for me, it's great that we're just talking about some of the stuff, but at the same time, I'm at the point of view that we know what the game is, lads. So I don't know what else needs to be added at this point.
You've got 2 managers. Big up, Phyllis.
Big up, man.
Bro.
You've got 2 managers that they've sent DMs to, right? Slid all up in their DMs last summer, earlier this year. Got one of them fired in Felipe Luis after he won the Champions League. And if you go into the offseason and you don't make a move for 2 guys that are obviously better, tells you everything you need to know about this club. That we are absolutely finished if we go into next season with better managers out there and keep Rosenior.
Felipe Luis can't even be in the discussion though, because he was earmarked for Strasbourg.
Yeah, he got pissed off at us because he thought we were talking about.
Blueco approached him for Strasbourg.
He got
I never saw that.
He thought Blueco approached him, right? And he thought that we were talking about the Chelsea job. Turns out it was a Strasbourg job. She's like, wait, never mind. I don't want the Strasbourg job. So he steps back from the Strasbourg offer once he realized it was Strasbourg and not Chelsea. And then he got sacked by Flamengo because of it.
No. So we basically called him up, right? We saw his resume online on Indeed, and we said, hey, we've got an opening for you, but we didn't tell them where the opening was. That's so fucked up, man. That's so fucked up. That's the kind of stuff that burns bridges with actually competent managers that will say, why would I want to do that?
Brother, but again, it's like these are the same thing we did. Was that one guy that's in the Portuguese league, Ahmed, the guy we're supposed to get from Atleti?
Who?
Oh, Samu.
Yeah.
But
you think other people didn't see what we did to Samu and how we did him dirty, and they're like, damn, bro, like why would I? Like, there's nothing certain in.
Yeah, we did him dirty. He was waiting in the hotel room, and we were like,
yeah, bro, we did Felipe Luis dirty. Yeah, the report came out, the kid was crying, like, bro, we're a nasty group of individuals here, man.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, Ahmed mentioned the whole revolving door thing and the turnaround. Like, that's gonna be a big impact. Like, okay. Let me just kind of put into perspective why I wanted to keep Maresca. The biggest reason I wanted to keep Maresca was because of the fear that these directors would pick someone that's not as competent as Maresca. That they would pick someone actually that would make things worse. And lo and behold, here we are. They have picked someone who, as of right now, has made things worse. Who knows? Maybe next season they're right. He has a preseason. He implements his style, whatever the fuck that may be, and then next season we look a lot better. Maybe. Like I don't.
Me when I call.
Listen, I don't necessarily believe it, but if I'm to kind of follow a trend here, it kind of happened with Maresca, right? Maresca did have a preseason. We didn't look great. He reverts back to a Pochettino type of football that we had for a little bit, and then towards December we started to kind of see more of the system, and then that transition area was when we kind of were shit. You can make the argument this is where we're at right now with Rosenior. I'm not going to make that argument. No, hold on. Let me just make my point. I'm not making that argument. All right? I don't actually believe that.
That code was good on you, bro.
I listen, I'm just giving other people cope, okay? Because I dish it doesn't mean I get high on my own supply. But all I'm just saying is that, okay, you can make that argument. The thing is, you could, right? The thing is, with these directors is I don't even want you to sack Rosenior. Why? Because you could potentially actually make it worse. But the moment you get someone half decent, please, and this is how bad the bar is at Chelsea with these directors at least. If you get someone half decent that even wins you a trophy or even gets you to top 4, keep him. Do whatever you can to keep him because you guys are so incompetent at your job. I don't trust you to hire better. I genuinely don't trust you to hire better.
Hey, Marshall, are you done?
Go for it. Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, it's all well and good talking about Maresca is here. This is Marshall, you're bleeding. It don't matter if he's here or not, bro. Okay, the bleeding needs to happen. Okay, this is like being shot here in battle. Okay, you're shot in battle. You're in the middle of the war zone. Okay, maybe having a medic next to you, yeah, of course it's gonna make it somewhat better. He can maybe somewhat patch up and help you maybe get to your what's it called, to your line. All right, but the thing is, yeah. But there's some injuries where you just can't recover from, bro. Okay, Maresca was putting a plaster on like a flipping broken, on like a ripped off hand. Okay, that's what we have right now. Okay, we have a ripped off hand that's bleeding right now. Okay, and Maresca was like, oh, don't worry, let me put some bandages on it. Maybe that will stop it a little bit. Okay, and the thing is, we need that to happen. Okay, we need it. Maresca left of his own volition. Again, you said that to me before. Okay, so it's not them that sacked Maresca. He's left on his own volition.
I understand that, but
are we just gonna let Ahmed just drop random war zone?
You know, I like as soon as he said we were at war, I knew that analogy was going nowhere.
Yeah.
I think what he was trying to say is basically what he's trying to say is that basically Maresca hit a ceiling because he had his hands full plugging in holes in the squad. Like, we would only ever, like, Maresca was not going to get any better because he had his hands full already plugging holes in the squad, which is why he walked away. He's like, if you're not going to plug these holes in the squad, why am I going to restrict myself to planning around these shit players where you're not going to help me at all? Because I want to take the team to the next level, but I need better players because I need my time and focus to be put on how can I get these results in bigger games instead of how am I going to go into this big game not conceding two?
The point of me even saying that, Ahmed, is yes, I understand you stepped on a fucking mine and all of a sudden your leg's blown off and whatever, you're still bleeding. But at least with Maresca, you put the band-aid on it, maybe you live to die another day. But with the way we're going Rosenior right now, it's like you stepped on the mine and it's like, well shit, I don't know what the fuck to do. I'm the new guy here. No one told me my leg was gonna get blown off or that I had to do this. So it's to the point where, like, bro, if we ever, from here until these owners are here, run into a manager that can at least give me half decent results, for as long as these directors are here, Chelsea fans, I'm telling you, appreciate what you have when you have it. Because now that Maresca wasn't good enough, we ripped off the Band-Aid, and now the bleeding is there, and all the patchwork that Ahmed said he covered up is still there. The problem is still there. Well, now that patchwork is done, now we don't know if we can fix the patch that was being patched up.
We couldn't fix it to begin with. That's the point, Marshall. It was never going to be able to be fixed. Because the guys up top, it was never going to be fixed.
Yeah. But you don't make it worse either, Ahmed. You at least make it tolerable.
But Marshall, what's the point of getting UCL football next season if you still have the same issues remaining, and then you're bringing some of the same solutions that you had last season? You're not changing the situation, bro. The situation essentially remains the same. The only difference is, we get an odd win here and there against a good side. That's the only thing that changes, Marshall.
I don't agree with that either, though, because to an extent, like, we all agree that a large portion of the issue with this team is the actual recruitment, right? We understand Maresca had his faults, but the actual recruitment was like the bigger thing to blame. I would make the argument that if you by some sheer hope or whatever, Maresca turned it around, we got back into UCL, whatever, we're in the same position pretty much, but we make it to UCL next season. I would make the argument that at least from that point, you don't have to rebuild as much as you would if you had just scrapped the whole thing like we're kind of doing now with Rosenior. Because now Rosenior wants his own players and all that.
I want to ask you a question here right now, okay? Yeah. Do these guys give a shit about what players they give? They tell the manager, these are the players we're giving you, these are the players that are seeing, and these are the players that are leaving, bro. We need to stop. You know this. Everyone in this panel knows this. They do not care what the manager thinks about players, bro.
But Ahmed, Marshall just read like a tweet with a brief saying that Rosenior was involved in it, which
that's not true. No,
could be BS.
That's not true.
My thing is,
but KG, let me just. I'm gonna hit you with a quick rebuttal. Did they not say that about Maresca also?
No, I thought Maresca didn't have as much say, and I thought that's why he left.
No, KG.
Ahmed,
They basically their whole brief is that a manager can have a say, can give an opinion, yes, but they make the final decision, bro. It's up to them. That's the whole point. So there's no. So what you're getting with Rosenior is no difference from what we were getting when Maresca was a stooge.
Yeah, I mean, no, I get that. I get that the board is always going to have the final say, right? Because even if the manager identifies a player, like maybe the financials don't work out, right? Maybe the club, the selling club wants an exorbitant amount. But the way that I understood that tweet that Marshall read was that he was much more. It sounded, at least to me, this could just be me, but he sounded like he was more involved in the identifying transfer process, as like more so than Maresca. Maybe that was my lack of understanding and a misinterpretation, but that's the vibe that I got, and that's why I was like, well, why would you give somebody who hasn't accomplished a damn thing a say, and the last guy got hit all of your objectives, didn't complain during the season last year,
overachieved.
Yeah, and you don't give that guy who actually showed competence. So that's why I was like, either that briefing is completely BS, or which I think I think most of our briefings are BS, but it doesn't add up to me.
I'll tell you why that one in particular was BS. Look at Mamadou Sarr. Why isn't he playing like that? There was a report that came out in January that about a week and a half in, like a report came out saying Rosenior also wants a centre back, and then what do you know? A week later, at the end of January, like between like about the 20th or the 25th, Mamadou Sarr comes in. The guy hasn't kicked grass at all. So if he was involved, then sure. If Rosenior was really involved, surely he'd be playing more.
Because like under Maresca, we identified that there was 4 key positions that still needed to be addressed. Right? We were saying left wing. We were saying the center back situation. So you could say 2 center backs in there, right? And we were saying, to an extent, we were saying goalkeeper. Some of us were saying we could probably wait another season if Sanchez maintains in this form. Now under Liam, even left back looks a little cooked. I'm not gonna lie to you. The 2 center backs. We got left wing as well. The striker situation or the number 10 situation with Cole Palmer as well.
How is
like
our left back looking cooked?
Cucurella hasn't looked anywhere near as good as he has.
He still looks solid for most part.
Well, he's got a contract situation regardless. So,
but Marshall, has he been bad this season now?
No, I don't think he's been bad.
Since Rosenior came in, we're talking about.
What we're trying to get at, Chris, is since Rosenior's come in, I feel like we now need more positions to reinforce on, rather than a manager who was kind of okay. We can make it work with just these positions.
Because like most players, like under Rosenior right now, have looked a lot worse.
Oh, definitely is. He's actively created problems in this team.
Bro,
yeah, like, but again, that goes back to like.
He's looked better under Rosenior. It's probably
João Pedro, yeah, thank you. My whole reasoning with pointing this out is that if we had made it to the summer with just Maresca and then assess from there, we would have had a cleaner cut. We would have been able to have a better idea of how to continue building this team. Versus now, it looks like with Rosenior, oh shit, there's more issues than we thought with Maresca. We get to get more players. We got to do more of this and that, and it's just like I don't trust you guys to build. Like to get 7 transfers right, maybe 4, maybe you get 8 transfers. 2 of them are good for what the 4 positions we need. At least it's easier to build off of 4 issues in the team than 7 or 6 wherever the fuck we are with Liam Rosenior. That's kind of what I'm getting at. It's just bad planning overall, bad maintenance of relationships, in terms of just the working environment that you have at Blue Co. So. I'm just saying.
It's honestly
if we land upon a good
ridiculous.
manager that actually wins stuff again, I will not. Listen. For as bad as the football could be, I'm not getting rid of these guys until we actually hire competent managers that can actually find a manager or someone, a coach who can take us to the next level.
It's just ridiculous to me. Like I've actually kind of deeped it for just a second and thought about it. The state Rosenior's left us in today. And mind you, it could and probably will get worse. We need to sign a player in every single position on the pitch except maybe the right wing. And even that is a push because people are people are entitled not to trust Kenda. I mean, with Kenda personally, I would put him in the Omega
he's
category
behind.
because he's been injured all season.
He's behind Esteban anyways.
I think
But even still, he's in the Omega category for me. He's been injured like most of the season. Kenda.
The other thing is, Marshall, yeah, you know, going back to slightly again on, you know, your gaffer Maresca, okay, he did improve. Okay, he did get the best possible from some of these guys, or they be a project towards the end of the season and stuff like that. But again, with some of the players we have, guys, there's limits. Okay, there's a limit of what you can get out of them. Okay, Pedro Neto, if he goes to Barcelona or if he goes to another league, yeah, he's not going to perform as good as he's performing right now for us, bro. I do not believe that, by the way. I actually am not of the belief. Yeah, maybe if he was to go to like a Serie A, in my personal opinion, or even like a La Liga, if he was playing for like an Atletico Madrid, maybe, where they might be given the ball in behind, right? Maybe. But other than those two, what's it called? Yeah, other than those two, I really am not sure like a guy like a Neto is going to improve. A guy like a Garnacho, you know, he only played him a little bit and he barely even played him to either, you know, Delap, we're not in the business of developing guys like Delap. I'll be honest with you. He should be at Newcastle or Everton.
Man said developing.
You know what I mean? Again, you know, I'm just going through the squad here. Enzo Fernandez, he's done well for us in terms of the numbers he produces for us, but defensively he does hurt us, right? And I just think for me with him, it's much more of a big issue of a league. It's a league compatibility issue with him. That's what it just comes down to. It's a league compatibility issue. Caicedo, Enzo. So Caicedo, no comment on him. He's all right. Lavia, no comment. I think if he's fit, I think he will suit this league. Santos, in my personal opinion, should be kept. He suits us. We can make him work in the right team. All right. Gusto, honestly, I'm of the view if you can cash in on him and get, you know, we should probably do that. The sooner the better, in my personal opinion. Otherwise, if you want him as a backup, I have no issues with that. It's either cash in or just make sure he's a backup option. The back three, the centre backs, I've said Fafana go, Badiashile go. Who else is there that I'm forgetting that needs to go? Disasi. Thank you, my brother.
Tosin gotta go.
Thank you for the memories.
Gotta go, man.
We're just gonna call him number 3. Is number 4 or what's his number? Number 4, right? Number 4 gotta go. Number 2 gotta go. Number 2 gotta go. Yeah, number 2's gotta go. The goalkeepers.
Gotta go, bro.
That's too respectful. That's too respectful. Number 2 gotta go.
Number 2's Disasi, brother. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, that's Disasi, man.
So why do you like to Marshall then? Marshall just the one that told me his numbers number 2.
No, what? Tosin's number 4.
I was right. Yeah, number 4 gotta go. See, I said number 4 gotta go. Yeah, number 4 gotta go. Kukurea. I would prefer him to stay personally, but I don't know if the club is gonna. I don't know what the club's gonna do with him. That's what I'm gonna say.
Wow, amazing, brilliant, well done, super good job.
If they get rid
Good take. I can't believe you even said that.
I don't know what the club is gonna do. You know what I mean?
He's 27.
Yeah, maybe they do what's in my heart. That's what I'm gonna say. Maybe the club do what's in my heart. That's what I'm gonna say. Hato, big up to him. He's probably Hato can stay. Goalkeeper wise, if we can get 2 out and 2 in, with one of them being Penders and a really good goalkeeper, I'm in. But I think, listen, even under Maresca, I was having these same talking points though. I think if we're being fair, right, we were having similar talking points for the vast majority of the squad anyway, right? Tosin,
really.
I would disagree. I think we were having the same conversations. No one here was telling me that people were like, oh, Tosin's good against the lower league sides. That's
no one's gonna make the argument for Tosin. The argument I would have made is that, like, if we had stuck with Maresca, then at this point of the season, we're probably talking about, I think we can hang on to Sanchez for one more season and Penders goes back on loan. We were having these discussions. Now we're having discussions of we need to expedite Penders because Sanchez looks so shit under this manager.
That's exactly the point. I remember. The thing is, it depends on when your point of reference is, Ahmed. If you're talking about in the summer, I agree. Goalkeeper was very high on the agenda for many Chelsea fans. But if you're looking towards New Year, it wasn't at all.
So, which is why I'm trying to get at that. Like, now that you ripped the Band-Aid off with Maresca, you're exposing a lot more issues that we could have gotten away with had we just stayed with the original manager.
But this is why I think we can keep talking about Band-Aid, but the reality is the Band-Aid needs to go anyway. because we know these problems exist.
I
These
agree.
problems are coming in front of us.
I
Just because we maybe giving ourselves a little bit of time. This problem still exists and it's coming at us. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the only. I understand that maybe your issue is that it's coming too fast for us, right? Which is fair enough. Yeah. Pause. I don't know that's a pause. Okay. Let's just put it in there, right? But the problem is still here, Marshall. That's the reality.
No, I get that, but to your analogy, right? What essentially Maresca doing at the end of December was, we ripped the Band-Aid off and we replaced it with toilet paper. Brother, we're still gushing blood. We're still bleeding a lot. The Band-Aid's going to soak up more of that stuff, and then when it comes to the summer, we rip the Band-Aid off, see the damage done, and we go from there. Now, there's a lot of damage, and I don't think this ownership put themselves in a position where they have too much to fix too quick.
The damage is still the same. It's not. There's no more or less damage.
No, it's worse now.
No. Okay, no.
This is the same damage.
It's definitely worse.
Again. The damage is, I think, in terms of the damage, the issues are the same. The only reason is, like I said, Maresca was plugging the holes. Now nobody's plugging the holes, but these holes in the squad, this lack of quality was always there, just that the system was mitigating it. It was getting the best out of players like Caicedo, right? And minimizing the negative impact we could have from the issues from the backline. Rosenior is just laying everything out there in the open. I think what Ahmed is trying to say is, right, is that after a certain point, when you are bleeding this much, you can no longer lie to yourself and lie and say everything's gonna be okay, the project is going well. When you are bleeding this much, right, you now have to say, we have to shift strategy. We have to do something because the ship is sinking. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter now that the band is still playing on the Titanic. It's fucking tilted 45 degrees in the air. You cannot ignore the issue no more. It doesn't matter if the band is playing, you still lie. You can tell yourself your lies, but the reality shows. So what I'm saying is, and with the bleeding that is currently going on, right, even if they try to slow it down, because Maresca is now gone, it is going to become just too blatant for them to ignore that they are going to have to change something. And that is the hope that Ahmed is getting towards.
It's also everything, and this is where I agree with Ahmed a bit, and this is like ultimately, I don't want Maresca sacked from now to the end of the season, because, and I said this on Chelsea Fan TV earlier, if they change the manager now, like say for example, I don't think he's going to get sacked in the international break, but let's say he does, and they bring in De Zerbi, and we get 5th, they are vindicated with every single thing they've done this season. They are completely vindicated. They are vindicated with sacking Maresca. They're vindicated with the signings they made. They're vindicated with bringing Rosenior in. They're vindicated with everything. Literally everything they're vindicated with. This is why he needs to stay till the summer, and this needs to burn. He needs to stay till the summer.
That's why I'm so worried. That's why I'm so worried that Villa is gonna win the Europa and we're gonna accidentally get UCL football, bro.
No, bro, we need to get 8th or 9th. It needs to happen. That's why I'm Sunderland. Fuck you, by the way.
We're gonna scam too many.
I'm Newcastle. Fuck you as well, by the way. Why can't you just win?
Bro, 2 points off of us to then lose to Sunderland at home. Go fuck yourself, bro.
I didn't actually check the scores. I only the one I saw was City's, but
can these teams fix up, bro? We need to get
Sunderland one.
damn.
Smash it to like people. But no, that's what I mean. Like, I get what Ahmed's saying. Like, in turn, I do. I just feel like we could have got, in terms of what these directors are capable of, I think now we're having a discussion of we need to get rid of every center back barring Acheampong and Sarr. Whereas the conversation prior to Maresca leaving was we need to get rid of Tosin, Badiashile. The rest are still workable with, and we can eventually get rid of them. Now it's like all of them have to go.
The conversation was still there, but I think it was a less popular conversation, because I've said that from last summer that everyone needed to go. Now there's no debate around it. The conversation was still there, it just wasn't a loud conversation. Now it's a loud conversation, and I'm going to be honest, we're at the point where even though I don't want them to be sold, what Rosenior has done, and to an extent as well these sporting directors and owners have done, you could almost make a case for including Josh and Sarr in that conversation, because part of them see them as part of this fan base sees them as tainted. After the PSG performances, I saw the sell Sarr. I saw the people talking about selling Sarr now. After one shit performance at right back versus PSG, it takes one bad performance for people to say sell Josh. And with the Josh thing, it's a case of this guy's playing no minutes anyway outside of in the FA Cup, which the moment we get knocked out of that, that's dead. Because that's exactly what happened after the CARABAO Cup.
He played Crystal Palace, did a good job and against Mateta, and then got sent to the Shadow Realm.
I mean, even
Facts.
even if we beat when we beat Port Vale, it's all big teams after that, and assuming
and then
Arsenal,
he won't play.
Yeah,
And then it is what it is. Or he might play and it will happen like what happened against Arsenal will happen and we won't see him again in the league, which is basically what's happened.
which is why did we even bring him in? Like, if you're gonna have two development center backs, which Sar and Achipong are, and the club thinks highly of them, which I think most fans do, right? Because they're pretty promising young center backs, but they're young center backs that need time. Why would you bring one in that would step on the other one's toes in terms of minutes, right? Because if one plays, the other one can't play. It's my same problem with the right wing with Esteval and Quenda. Go ahead.
KG, this is the same problem or what you said makes complete sense, but this is from the same club that bought 3 19 to 20-year-old centre backs who are all right-footed and play on the right side of defence.
Yeah.
How does that make sense?
That's why I'm like.
And by the way, currently none of them are playing. By the way, me and Dana should talk about this in the chat earlier. You've got Sar doesn't play anymore, Josh doesn't play anymore, and Achipong is not Achipong. Sar doesn't play anymore, Achipong doesn't play anymore, and Anselmino is on his about 8th or 9th hamstring injury.
Yeah, but I told Ahmed this, by the way. I told him the reason why Maresca isn't playing to depth is because eventually they play them and they don't end up trusting them.
Yeah,
this is not just Maresca, bro.
Okay.
Which I get, but at the same time, I'm just like, why would you ruin a kid's development if you think highly of them, where they're in a stable situation?
These guys don't know how to develop players.
The thing is,
true.
and just to slightly rebuttal what Arasim just said there. The problem is we have a issue of what I like to call quality of depth. Okay, you know what I mean by that is that
I don't disagree.
Listen, I don't want to be seeing Tosin and Buddy Shield play for me, right? I would much rather the manager trust in giving these minutes to a Sar and an Anselmino, and there has to be a realization when you're giving these rotation minutes to these guys that these guys are gonna make mistakes, and this is where it also comes down to, the manager you're bringing in needs to understand these guys are gonna make mistakes. It's gonna happen, but we need these guys to pull through and push through.
Yeah, but Ahmed, the rebuttal to you is when managers go through difficult times, and which Maresca definitely did before he left, and then which Rosenior is now, no manager trusts young players. They're always going to default to experienced players. And I know it's not right because our experienced players have continued to let us down time and time again, but that's just how managers think. If they're going to go down, they're going to go down with guys that have been there and guys that have minutes under their belts, and not the kids. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's what managers do. Like, that's what relegation managers do when they take over in a scrap.
The other rebuttal I'd have against you, Ahmed, it's not necessarily a full rebuttal against you, but the thing I would say, bear with me a second. The other thing I would say to you is I think there is a way around it, and this is the other problem I have with them, is we could have still had the same defence in terms of starting, and Sar could still be on loan to Strasbourg, and Josh could be alone at Bournemouth right now, where he would be starting.
I agree.
Or getting in. And this comes back to an issue I've had with them from the get-go. They are either shit at finding loan moves, or they cut them short for no reason, for literally no reason. Like none. Yesterday, we cut for no reason when he was the first guy off the bench in midfielding at Leicester. We cut his loan short for no reason. He proceeded to play all of about 30 minutes for the rest of the season, was then sold for what we bought him for. So I think sorry, Marsh, before you go, I think the way we have it set up is like, you look at like past players, right? How do we know Reece was able to step into our team?
Got minutes
because of his loan at Wigan, where he was player of the season. How do we know that we thought Santos could step into this team? His loan move at Strasbourg. How did we know, or how did we think that, I don't know, like Courtois could step into our team at the time back in the day because of his loans at Atletico Madrid? Like, that's how you judge. If they can't start for you in your team, that's the next best thing. Send them to a team, they're going to play, they're going to get minutes, and you can judge from there, and you can try and assess. Sar was performing. He was playing fairly well. Yes, there was mistakes. He was playing well, playing regularly, important. Cut it short for no reason. He's played like no minutes. Josh, at least 2 Premier League teams wanted him, and I think the better team probably at the time, because of who was there, would have been Bournemouth. Look at their defence. They keep chopping and changing. Senesi is a constant. The right centre-back is in flux. That was prime position for him to play that right centre-back role next to Senesi. But no, you didn't want to do that because you said he was going to play. He's not played.
Yeah,
And
that's my
that-
problem with the whole right wing situation. Is we've got Esteval, we've got Neto, we've got Palmer, and then we're going to bring in Quenda, who we all rate and we think is highly promising. And yeah, I know he can technically play both sides, but he's obviously better. Like his natural position is right wing, coming in off that right wing, shooting on his left. But we've got another kid who's a world-class talent in front of him that also needs minutes and also needs time to develop, right? Because we know that you can't play in the Prem where we get run through when we play Palmer in the 10, Enzo in like the box crashing 8, and Caicedo in the 6, because it just puts all the pressure on Caicedo to cover. And that's Poch. That's Maresca to an extent, although he pulled the lines back a little bit deeper. And it's definitely happening under Rosenior where it's just gaps everywhere. So I'm like, the balance is all, if you get a manager that comes in and he wants Palmer off the right, then what the fuck do we do with Esteval? What the fuck do we do with Quenda? Like we can't have all these world-class talents or 2 world-class talents who both need time and both need minutes blocking each other. It should be you have a clear starter, and then you've got a young kid behind them who is nipping at their heels of saying, you know what, I'm pushing for their spot. And, you know, you let them battle it out once that kid gets the experience, once they get a little bit of more season to their game. But it's just it's so poor. Like it's any manager that comes in, they have to develop like 5 or 6 players just to get quality in the starting 11, and that's way too much. Cities with Pep, he had to develop maybe 1 or 2, right? Like Foden was in there, maybe like a couple of like the younger guys that are coming through now, O'Reilly, right? But it's never 5 or 6 guys that you're depending on because you can see a little bit of quality in them, but you know that they don't have the full package yet to make you actually compete for it, which is part of the reason, to be honest with you, why City's kind of off the pace from where they've normally been in the league. But yeah, it's fucked.
No, it is fucked, and this is the environment that Blue Co essentially set up, right? Like to your point, KG, and to the point that Scott was saying, it's like we're asking the recruitment's bad from top to bottom. We're putting these players out on these horrible loans that, for the most part, 9 out of 10 times are not good for them. How many loans have we had for Dr. Fofana? A player that we could have easily...
Speaking of which, Marshall, sorry to interrupt, he made his 4th appearance of the season tonight, since January.
Good for him. Good for him. He should be gone from this club.
4th appearance, Marshall.
Since January. So in the last
Shout
3 months,
out to Dr. Ravana, man.
They have played
Poison tour.
double-digit figure games since then.
But the problem is,
he's been there since
right?
January, right?
The problem is you're bringing in these young players, you're cutting their loans short, you're not letting them develop because we've cut Dr. Fofana's loan so many times in the past few seasons. So they never get a chance to fully develop. They never get a chance to get steady minutes to really get those errors and iron out those errors out of your game. So then you're asking a manager at Chelsea to iron out those minutes for those players, get the mistakes, put Mamadou Sarr in the situation he was at in Champions League, and then expect him to learn from that on the spot while also being under pressure to make UCL or win a trophy. So it's just like, oh, so you want me to develop these players, and then you also want me to compete for the highest accolades.
It's an impossible ask. It's an impossible ask to any manager, right? Because you can. That's why we're always like, send Josh to Brighton. Let him do the Levi Colwell thing, because you can make a mistake at Brighton and no one cares because Brighton's going to finish 10th. But if you make a mistake at Chelsea, there's ramifications financially. There's ramifications in terms of the manager. It's just too big of a club to be. And to be honest with you, it's too big of a club to be developing players like that. You should be buying. But that's what I'm saying.
That's why when Ahmed wants to burn it all down and say all that, like, listen, I'm all for it. I get where it comes from. And I get playing these players that aren't giving you anything, like benching Fofana, benching Chalobah, play Anselmino, or not Anselmino, I'm sorry, play Mamadou Sarr, play Acheampong. I'm all for that. That's great. I do think these players' ceilings are higher than the center backs we currently have. But one game where there's an error, Okay, that's fine. I expect you to make errors. 2 games in a row, there's an error. Okay, that's fine. You're still, you gave me good positives, yada yada. 3, 4. How many games are you going to accept errors from at this Chelsea side? This is Chelsea Football Club. How many games are you going to accept errors, and how many games are you going to throw for the sake of development?
By the way, Marshall, you're spitting, by the way, because I just spoke about him earlier. It took one mistake from Mamadou Sarr, and it was a bad mistake. It took one mistake from Mamadou Sarr for people to say sell him.
And I know Ahmed was okay with it. Like, I was also okay. I understand. You're a young center back. But you should be earning your stripes at Strasbourg. We fucked that up by bringing you here sooner. And now, look, you're making the mistakes here when you could have ironed those mistakes out with a proper loan last season or even this season. What were you going to say, Ahmed? Sorry.
I have 2 points to make, yeah. The problem right now at this club is that we keep hearing we are Chelsea Football Club, and the reality is we are not that anymore. I hate to say it like this, but this is something we need to realize. Okay, it's all well and good, Mandem saying, "Oh, you know, Sar's gonna make mistakes. I can't accept that after 3, 4, 5 games." But Chalobah was making mistakes 3, 4, 5 games, and people were, what were we seeing then?
Marshall, shall we revisit this conversation again?
You know,
we were saying Trev is a bum. We were always saying Fofana is a bum.
But the reason why I bring this up here is that we've had a whole season of Chalobah doing this stuff here, and people have been calling him bum. Tosin saying this stuff and calling him bum. The reason why I bring all these guys up here is because,
don't worry.
The reason why I bring all of these guys up before I get to Sarr and Tamina and them lot is because the guys we have above them are bums too. They're bums. Okay, so on some level, guys, yeah, I hate this thing of we are Chelsea Football Club because the club is not acting that way. If the club was acting this way, do you think I would be asking for Anselmino, Sarr, and Champions to be starting football games for me? You know what I mean? Same with Cole was a great example that I know Danish is using right now, where for a good like 75% of that season, bro, washed, cooked, barbecue chicken, whatever you want to use, he was that, bro. Yeah. Right? So for me, and there has to be, on some level, if we're bringing in some of these guys that I'm mentioning, there has to be a natural acceptance. If these guys are going to come to the squad, the fans need to understand this, or the ownership themselves, or like whoever the manager is going to be at the time, needs to understand, right? Guys, I don't care. Because they did that with Cole, essentially. I don't care what these fans say. I don't give a shit about the boost and anything. We are going to make sure you get played, ready minutes, starting minutes. We want you to improve. We understand you're going to make mistakes. That's where it has to come through. Okay? Because the fans are always going to be fans. I'm going to be a fan. You're going to be a fan and everything like that. The problem right now, guys, is that the solutions that we're going to get are not short-term solutions. I think we want jouissance. Okay? Jouissance is a term by a Slavoj Žižek, yeah? It means, it essentially means, what's it called? Happiness like this. You know what I mean? That's what it is. They want happiness like this. And the thing is, guys, yeah, if we was under Roman Abramovich, we probably would have gotten that. And
instant gratification, bro. Instant gratification.
Yes, instant gratification. And I would want that personally. Okay? But with the I was gonna say something crazy there. But with the guys in office right now, I'm afraid I can't say it.
Say it.
We need monetization. But the reason
also, again, by the way, when people say the fans need to accept, it doesn't mean that you need to be happy with it. The word accept means you need to realize the reality in which you are living in. Wake up. Wake up.
Listen, Abu, I think what Abu's not understanding. I don't want this either. You know, if I want to do this project thing, FM Nation, I've got FM Nation to lock me in. FM 24, I'm ready to lock in on that save. But the thing is, like you need, they've already run out of fan goodwill anyway. Like goodwillness from the fans, right? That's it. You know, I think for me they've already run out of that. But I think if anything needs to start happening, and if you're gonna accept some of this stuff, you need to be able to say, these guys need to be playing right now. Whether it be now or next season, these need to be our starters, and I can't listen to the fans. Okay? Now, in terms of me, ideally, I want to be bringing in some top tier centre backs into the team. There's no denying that. There's guys out there, hopefully, that if we signed them for 70, 80 million, maybe 1 or 2 of them, together combined, can probably be a lot more solid alongside the Colwell. But guys, let's ask ourselves this question: is that going to happen? It ain't gonna happen. Okay? I can tell you right now, off the bottom of my heart, this is what I did last year. Yeah, I literally got it right last year, the signings we made, and I can tell you right now the signings we're gonna make this season, and I'm gonna still be right. And I know you guys in chat know that too. So what is the point of fighting something that we know it's not going to change, lads? Okay, the only way things need change is blood needs to be spilled. Okay, and I do not mean that obviously in a way where we get
relax. The war
That's actually
blood must be spilled. Yo, what is going on?
Guys. Listen, the blood must be spilled is actually like a quote from like what's it called, Gladiators? Okay.
Oh, that's not what I meant to play.
Yo,
What the hell?
Marshall,
Yo.
Marshall!
What is going on?
That's a red card.
Red card is
I'll give myself a yellow card for.
No, that's a red, bro.
Mistime to tackle.
That's definitely going to VAR. Definitely going to VAR.
You guys can check the corruption, right? Corruption.
No, but like the reason why, listen, obviously we don't want blood, we understand, but it's a figurative term in terms of like obviously, right? It's from you've heard the term like there must be blood. You know what I mean? It's like
you don't need to explain it. Everybody knows you're talking figuratively. We know.
Yeah, figuratively, right? And until that happens, it's all well and good. You know, I know.
Ahmed, there must be blood, Abdi, bro. I hear you, man.
Yeah. I know there's some people that are still believing the club's gonna get sold. I saw a stream today that said
we don't need to. Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, we can sell Blue Coat, which means you can sell Chelsea. And you know, again, I always come back to guys, even if this was true, and I hope it's true. Can that really happen? Is the value of the club increased that much?
No.
I know it's not. I think if it's increased, probably about 100 million maximum. Okay, but no, I've never had someone try to break even on the club. Okay, or even break even on a sale. So, listen, I want that to happen. Of course, in an ideal world, I would love that to happen for me. But I know short and medium term it's not gonna happen. So we have to make the best out of a horrible situation, bro.
Yeah, I think what I was trying to get at is that they've made this situation where you have to rely on these youngsters who are underdeveloped to try to get you out of a sticky situation, rather than having a proper pipeline where by the time these youngsters are coming into this team, they're ready. They've ironed out most of their mistakes. Upamecano wasn't a first-team starter at Leipzig, you know, for a little bit. And then once he became a first-team starter, by the time he made that move to Bayern, although he's not that great of a center back, he was more ready than he was prior. You know, had he made that move earlier, his career probably doesn't go the same way. And I feel like we're giving these youngsters a short end of the stick in terms of their career because of just how we go about these loans and how we go about farming and you know, hoarding all these youngsters and then not having a clear path for development. Very much like with Kenda, what's going to happen next season? Kenda comes in, what's going to happen with Gittins or what's his face, Esteval? They're both preferably right wingers. You know, it's like I don't understand the recruitment here, and that's also the issue we have here. Ridiculous.
It's just more weight to the argument that at every single level below the sporting directors, they do not care about turnover at all, and that includes the loan players.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just to clarify, by the way, for people who misunderstand, the reason why people are like, oh, they said you can't sell Chelsea, but they can sell Blue Coat. Again, please, people, you need to realize it's like me saying, listen, you're not allowed to sell my phone, and then you put my phone inside of a cake box, and you're saying, I'm selling you a cake box. It is the same thing. You are still selling my phone. It doesn't matter if you put it inside of a cake box and call it a cake box. You're selling my phone. It's not going to hold up in a court of law. Please stop. People, the Mandem are finding out what show companies are. The Mandem are finding out about show companies through Blue Coat, bro. Please.
I'll tell you what, that kid that's going to Liverpool next year, the one that we chased all January, Jack Hay.
No.
If he turns out to be good, oh my goodness, Blue Coat.
But again, how many times they like, oh, we were looking at this guy. Oh, he was actually decent, brother. We were looking at Ekitike. We were looking at Sesko, and we got the lap.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about who you're
they
checking
don't
out anymore, man.
They don't care because listen, as far as they're concerned, they were in the discussion for him, and some loser on Twitter will give them credit for it.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what it is, man.
I don't care. Just do the action.
You know what it is, guys. Yeah, I'm at a stage now where You know, the walls are closing around. The walls are closing around you, bro. You know, I'm trying to just find, you know, the most. That's the best. You know, there's another example I could use, but it's Peggy 18. Let's
Use it.
please.
Use it.
No,
You're happy on the
More
analogies today, Ahmed.
Yeah, it is.
This man
I'm
pretends like
Ahmed,
this is his first time on Casually,
you
man.
already called for blood to be spilled in order for the club to change.
Yeah.
So you might as well just.
Might as well go all out, man. I haven't been demonetized yet. Let's test the boundaries.
You know, it's like having like it's like when you have a kid, yeah, and you're divorced. You know what I mean? This is the problem that we have.
Hold
right
on.
now.
Do you have kids?
I was going to say, where are you going?
No comment.
If you have kids, he's not paying for child support, I'll tell you that.
Yo, Chris, what are you trying to say, bro? Wait.
Well,
You know-
the stories you're saying lately, man. You say, are they my kids? I don't know.
What the fuck?
Disrespectful.
Chris, Chris, hey, you know what? Credit to you this season, man.
This is yeah. What we have to end it them out. Let's do. Chris.
You know what? The worst. There's a direct correlation. There might not be a direct correlation between managers and success, according to Finkelfuck, but there's a direct correlation between Chelsea's season going down the shitter and Ahmed's analogies going down the shitter too. Because the more L's we catch, woo, Ahmed, your analogies getting crazier and crazier. But go ahead. I want to hear the kids one.
Yeah, bro.
I was just saying, if you have like if you don't have a great relationship with the person, with the partner that you've divorced, or you have a child with, right? You know, it gets difficult, innit? It just gets difficult for you, you know, whether it be, you know, just trying to get time with your child, etc., etc. That's what it's like with Chelsea, bro. You know what I mean? Like it feels
But
like
we can't leave it.
You know, we can't leave it. You know what I mean?
No,
Ahmed said he's struggling to get the visitation rights.
You know,
Keeper, Ahmed.
How about us, instead of this kid's bullshit analogy, let's just go with something we can maybe understand better, okay? Me and Chris in particular fall into this trap every season, okay?
Yeah.
We buy the new FIFA, we get hyped for a week, then we
That's
then
me,
we're like,
I'll
this
tell you
game is
that.
fucking shit. And then what do? We come back next year to buy it again. Because
Bro, I told you, I told you, I fully acknowledge I am in an abusive and a physically and emotionally relationship with Chelsea, bro. I'm being abused physically and mentally by Chelsea, bro.
It's BDSM, man. It's BDSM. Chelsea's BDSM, bro.
No, Ahmed, it's not BDSM. No, it's not BDSM. It's not BDSM because BDSM, some people enjoy. This is not enjoyable. This is self-harm. This is self-harm.
Hey, facts.
Facts, you know.
Yeah, Scott, I don't know. Maybe you're enjoying it because you told me to suffer.
I told you, bro. I am the beat, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I'm the beat wife, bro. I am the beat wife. I acknowledge it, bro. I'm telling you.
Oh my God. I know I'm in a toxic relationship.
I blame Ahmed for this, by the way. Ahmed decided to go towards the family route, and this is where we've gone. I blame you.
You know what? Look at Chelsea, man.
Hold on. And this is the same. And this is the same.
Look at this abuse from Chelsea, man. Look at this.
It's the
Look what they
same.
give me, man.
It's
Oh my
This is, by the way, this is the same Ahmed. This is the same Ahmed who wants us to give him control of Chelsea. He said he'd be a good manager, bro.
Listen,
Imagine Ahmed in the locker room. Ahmed in.
I like that.
That's gonna be enough.
Ahmed pre-match speech, bro, talking about analogies, bro.
Listen, Ahmed pre-match reach. We're gonna have this. You know, there's gonna be some. Listen, we're gonna make sure we put the fear of God into them. You know, we need to put the fear of God into them. We need to put the fear of God. No, but listen, guys. At the end of the day, you know. Is there any other topics you got to talk about, Marshall? I know there's like another protest incoming. Is that the next
Enzo
one?
Fernandez.
The Enzo point. I just have one thing to say about Enzo, bro, and I think it's simple. It's to the point.
Tell him to bring me my money.
That's all. That's all the input you're gonna get me on the Enzo situation, bro.
I don't know.
Let's bring up Enzo then. Let's breeze through this topic. So. Whether Real Madrid, Manchester United, or any other team could afford Fernandes, Caicedo, or Palmer, even if Where am I? Fuck. Reluctantly open themselves up to offer is highly debatable, but trying to keep unhappy stars rarely ends well, which is why the owners need to convince them that their project can satisfy their ambition and financial demands. And we got here from Team Talk. Manchester City apparently are exploring potential summer move for Enzo Fernandez. The Chelsea midfielder has emerged as a target for City as they begin planning ahead of their next transfer window. Continuing on, Graham Bailey saying Chelsea are ready to destroy their salary record with a stunning new contract for Enzo Fernandez. More from the Team Talk or Graham Bailey here. Exclusive. Chelsea insists they have no intention of losing Enzo Fernandez and are preparing to fight off growing interest from Real Madrid and other elite European clubs this summer. And Team Talk can exclusively reveal that a record-destroying new contract is in the works. I don't believe it either, Chris. Sources have indicated Chelsea are willing to go beyond £400,000 per week.
Can we stop reading? Stop reading. Stop reading.
This is full of lies. I don't care.
Surpassing the £325,000 per week Raheem Sterling received during his time at the club. Chelsea see him as a central figure in the long-term rebuild, while Enzo is open to the idea of Real Madrid and would naturally be attracted to moves to Paris or Munich. He is not agitating for a transfer and has made no formal push to leave. Privately, Chelsea acknowledged that they have not yet matched Enzo's ambitions on the pitch, but they remain completely confident that with 2 or 3 key additions, they will be in a position to compete for major honors again. Okay. Okay. They want Enzo to be at the heart of their next phase and are prepared to act accordingly to secure his commitment. Chelsea's stance is unequivocal. Enzo Fernandez is not for sale, and the club are prepared to put one of the biggest contracts in the world of football on the table to prove it. Liam Rosenior had this to say. Enzo made it really, really clear to me how happy he is here at the club, how much he wants to win, and how passionate he is for us to be successful. And also said that in translation and in emotion, things can get misconstrued in what he said. So for me, he's fully committed to the group. He's fully committed to winning here at this football club. Yeah,
I just hate when they treat us like we're stupid, bro. Like,
you know
it really
what?
pisses me off, man.
You know what? I probably believe this. I believe this.
I don't.
Oh my
But
god, brother.
it's so.
You actually believe it?
This
I
guy,
do,
man.
but this is a truth.
I have a bridge to tell you, bro. I have a bridge to tell you.
He's over doubling his wages if he gets that.
I have
There
some
is-
magic beans.
Brother,
there's
Reese.
I do the technique. You know what I mean?
They're doing the
Reese James.
technique, guys.
Reese James took base wage cut, and you're telling me they're gonna give Enzo 400K.
They are doing the technique. They're doing the technique. What they're not telling you is that the technique. They're doing the same thing they did to Reese. Where Reese, we're gonna pay you more than what you have, but your base salary needs to go down.
You know,
So when all incentives
They're
are
not
hit, when all
They're not
incentives are
lowering his
hit,
base salary, bro.
when he hits that Ballon d'Or clause, then he'll get 400K a week.
Okay, you know, at first it was a joke, right? This was a running joke that this Marshall guy was a blue covert operative. Now he is for sure. You're telling me you believe this bullshit, and you're trying to sell me this bridge of magic beans, this fucking magic beans bullshit
not to,
of 325K.
not to speak.
So
If I
Marshall,
speak, I am in big trouble.
I need to understand this. So what you're telling me is
Brother,
he's
we
on
said
board
go to
currently
Rodrigo.
Marshall, please, Marshall, just say you were joking and we can move on, bro. Because we're gonna have 30
I
minutes.
was being
BJ.
sarcastic.
I don't have time.
I was being
He's being-
sarcastic. My serious but I'm being partially sarcastic because the serious point is I wouldn't be surprised if this is what they're willing to offer only if you hit all of your incentives.
Yeah, brother, I'm
Meaning,
telling you, like, I'm
without
sure they're
the
gonna tell them, like,
incentives, it's
listen,
low.
it's like when
That's
you
not how
go-
the club reports, though.
It's like when you go to
It's misleading. It's misleading.
It's
on
like
purpose.
it's like when you go to the store and they tell you
that
like
would-
savings up to $1,000, but in
Yeah.
order for you to get the savings of $1,000, like the 6 planets need to align and a certain light beam needs to shine from the moon into like
Exactly.
this random room underground. Like it's not happening, bro.
I think
It's
it's
not
full of
happening.
shit, but I think there's partially truth to it.
No, Marshall, I don't think there's any truth because you need to understand. Let's not even. I'm going to ignore what you said about lowering his wage. Let's go from his current wage. That would mean, if this is true, he would be getting 220 grand a week in bonuses.
Base pay.
You're telling me he's getting more in bonuses than he is on base wage. What self-respecting man is taking that deal?
Probably not him.
So why the?
You need to
The
be.
thing is,
You would need to
that
be
depends
the
on the
biggest,
incentives. but
biggest
yeah.
Clear Lake cuck to take that deal, bro.
Yes, you would have
That's
to
what
be.
I'm saying. I was half joking when I said that. Because
But yeah, like
I'm sure
also,
when
if
you
you
hit
do
all
that,
your
by the way-
incentives, I'm sure there's lucrative. But
Bro, by the way,
whether you
people
hit 'em or
saying
not.
Reese should fire his agent. It's his dad, bro. What is he gonna sack his dad?
All I'm gonna say, man. All I'm gonna
Get out
say,
of here,
man.
Pop.
All I'm
Bro,
saying,
Reese,
man.
Reese did it because he loves the club. That's why he did it. Like again,
man.
the only reason people disrespect myself.
Didn't Christensen sack his dad?
I was gonna say, Marshall, I can
That's funny.
100% believe the idea they probably want to increase his wage, and like this is why I
Sure.
think we talked on it on a previous stream. I think what might happen is they make him the highest paid player. Like he goes from like what he's on 180. So like, if they really want to convince him to stay, I could see them pushing 250 plus bonuses, right?
They won't
If
give
they
him more
really
base
want.
pay than James, I don't think.
Why?
Because why would you give James less base pay when he's the senior and the captain of the group?
Because he's a Chelsea man through and through, so he's more likely to stay. I'm saying if Enzo wants to leave, and this is their golden boy in terms of their poster child for this project, because I'm going to be honest, make no bones about it, as much as I wanted to sell him.
Sure.
If Enzo Fernandez pushes to leave after what is effectively clownery that he's seen and fuckeries behind the scenes, that is arguably, outside of maybe Palmer, the single biggest L they can take. Him and Palmer are the poster children for this project.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying, for one of your poster children, if they're thinking about leaving, and you want him to stay, and it's a case of he's going to make it really difficult to keep him, even though he's on the long contract, I can 100% see them making him the highest paid player in the squad at 250k. I don't think they've got over that, but I could see a world where they pay him 250k, which would be ludicrous, but I can still see a world.
I think that'd be insane. I think that'd be a mistake, to be honest.
I agree.
250?
Still see it.
What's he on now?
Too much for him.
180.
What's he on?
He's on at the moment.
He's on
I would
180.
say, I don't know, like 200k ish, around that.
To make him the same as Reese, like maybe, but like I'm gonna be honest. If I'm Enzo, no, Reese is now on 200k. If I'm
Base
Enzo,
wage is 200.
Oh.
Yeah, if I'm Enzo, is 20k a week extra enough for me to stay when I've got Real Madrid, PSG. I don't believe the City thing, by the way. If I've got Real Madrid, PSG, because I don't think there's no reason for Manchester City to buy him, considering who they've already bought and what they actually need. Like, they have enough midfielders. Unless Bernardo Silva's going to leave, and even then, I don't think he's the Bernardo Silva replacement. To be honest,
Reinders hasn't worked out for them.
Cool. Then they need to get rid of Reinders first, then, bro. They just spent 50 mil on him.
Yeah.
Maybe more than that. So
I agree with you though, but I wouldn't like unbelieve it either. You know.
So that's what I'm saying.
There's a possibility.
I think you would have to make him, to get him to stay, you'd have to make him the highest paid player minimum. So you're talking at least a 30k a week increase, potentially more. I don't want him to get that. Like, let him leave, bro. Honestly, let him leave.
You're muted, KG.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to keep him.
Yeah, we just need to go, bro. You know what?
I'm not gonna give him the highest salary in the team.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you do that, it's gonna be like an NFL quarterback where you got to break it again for Caicedo and his re-up.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. Like, I would give that to Caicedo more than I'd be willing to give it to Enzo.
Yeah.
Like, I just think
And
Caicedo's
then when
been more
Palmer offers a
consistent
new contract,
overall.
you're then gonna have to go higher for him. And
Yeah, I mean that's what I mean. Like, there's I always feel like sometimes with these reports, especially with Team Talk, like it's thinly veiled like truths, right? Where there's a bunch of lies, but there's just like the truth.
Marshall, this is ultimately as well, by the way. So I think we've had this conversation before, but I need to double down on it. This is why these incentivized contracts, or these like massively trimming the wage bill, has a cap and ultimately doesn't work full stop unless you're in a salary cap league, because you're going to reach a point where your best players want the most money. So you have to then pay them that. So like we're going to get to a point where Palmer's going to probably want a pay increase soon. He's on 120, 150. Let's just say in a year's time he wants a pay increase. Regardless of form, I'd say based on where his position in the squad is, he probably deserves, to be at least the second or third highest earner minimum. By that point, that could be 200k plus. By that point, so this is where you then reach the point of, we go back to it, of like your players like an Osimhen or Elise. Sometimes you just have to pay them, because those players, like, let's say after we sign one of them, let's just say Fofana turned around and went, I want to pay increase. Kick rocks, leave.
Yeah, that's the thing, Scott, is just because you give Osimhen 300k doesn't mean you have to give the next person 200k. That's Victor Osimhen. He's got a name. He's matched work in multiple leagues. He's done, he's a high.
I think Enzo's got a bit of a name too.
Yeah, he's a big play. He's a big player, but you can't imagine somebody like Cole Palmer is looking, or I'll say Caicedo, right? Gravenberch just got 300k a week, right? Gravenberch has had one good season. Like Caicedo, in his mind, his agent is got to be telling him, yo, bro, you are on 150k, right? I'm looking at it now. Yeah, he's on 150k. You telling me that Gravenberch is twice the player that you are, Caicedo? That you should be making that much less? Playing for Chelsea, living in London, like, these players know what deals they're getting, and our big players like Cole Palmer is going to look at Saka and he's going to say, yeah, I haven't been as around as long as Saka. Like, I won't even say match work because I'm not the biggest Saka fan, but still, he's going to say this is Saka, and this is Saka before because I think they're going to win the league, right? This is Saka before he's actually won a trophy. So he's getting 300k a week, and he's never had a season like I've had, right? Like the 23-24 season was better. Actually, Cole Palmer's last year, where he fell off the face of the map in the second half of the season, was better than any season that Saka's ever had statistically. So you can't tell me a player like Cole Palmer is not going to be like, you're Arsenal in the same city. They're giving this guy, my boy, 300k, and I'm on 120k. Like, and that's 300k like base. Who knows what his incentives are over there, right? Like, because I'm not that up to date on their incentives packages and stuff like that. But I can't imagine that any of these players are going to sit around and just be willing to do what Reece did and sacrifice because of the love of the club. Like, Caicedo doesn't have any loyalty to us. Enzo kind of does love the club, but I'm kind of like, I wish you didn't love it as much.
I think Caicedo's the one player. I do think, considering how he pushed to join the club, I think Caicedo's the one player who I could see not fully pushing for the full wage. The one who won't is Palmer, by the way. And KG, you don't even have to use the other players. Let's use the Enzo thing, right? Let's say we give Enzo, let's just say 250k a week, right? Yeah. He's the highest earner. Cole Palmer in the league this season is 1 GNA less in 10 less games.
In a shit season.
I was about to say, in a supposedly shit season for him. Like, he's not been great, but in a supposedly shit season, he's 1 goal and assist off of Enzo in the league this season in 10 less games. He is as deserving as Enzo is of the same money, because across his whole season, across his whole time with Chelsea, he's done more than Enzo has, or at least has done the same as Enzo has. Yeah. So that's the problem that you're going to get with this. So Enzo has to leave.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's great. I think the wage structure, not only does the sporting directors and their targets, right, their demographic, I'll say their demographic they use, limit the talent level that comes in, right, in terms of established players, but players don't want to go to the Premier League and not get paid. Like, this is the biggest league in the world. This is the biggest TV contract revenue out of any league apart from like the NFL and the NBA. Like, you come to Chelsea, you come here because you get the exposure and you're going to make a lot of money. And we're not even offering that much, which pretty much takes us out of the running. Like, I looked at it last year, right? There's Chelsea of old, we would have been in 100% for Florian Wirtz. There's no way in the world that the old Chelsea wouldn't have been in for Florian Wirtz. Big name, promising. Even Chelsea after the Enzo purchase and after the Caicedo purchase, where we showed that we could drop 100 million on a player, we would have been in under Wirtz. But this new thing, Wirtz doesn't even pick up the phone to us, and we don't even have him in the Rolodex, to date myself.
Yeah, I mean, I think building off of the whole incentive talk that we were talking about before, I think there's a world where incentivized contracts can work, and there's not necessarily as harsh of a ceiling as there is right now. I think what kind of, raises a red flag for me is reading that last article from Team Talk saying, oh, we're willing to give him $400K a week. Okay, I know for a fact that's not going to be base. That's going to be a bunch of incentives you have to hit. It makes me think, what fucking possible incentives do you have written in that contract to even consider this a feasible potential salary he could get? It makes me think, like, the more the more unrealistic these incentives may be getting under these contracts, the more it's going to put off players. Like, even if we wanted to keep Enzo Fernandez, let me even put it an even easier example. Let's just say, for example, Levi Colwell's contract is up, or Cucurella's in conversations. If by chance there's a clause in that incentive where, oh, if you keep 10 plus clean sheets this season, then we'll add an additional $50K a week.
You're spitting with this, by the way, because this is what I was going to say. And like, if you played FM, you'll understand, right? When you play Football Manager, for anyone that has, when you go to like renew a contract or sign a player, you add. I remember you doing this for the last FM because I've not played this one. When you would add, I want to sign a player, but I don't have that much money. Cool. I'm gonna go 10 mil up front, and I'm gonna add a bunch of bonuses. He's never hitting, but if he hits all of them, I'm paying you 100 mil. He's never hitting any of them. But it's because I'm trying to trick the team into letting me buy him for cheap. It's the same with the wage thing of like, cool, I'll pay you a base wage of 150K. But guess what? If you hit a million long shots from like the corner flag, if you hit an Olympico every game, if you Travella it from this position into the top bins in the Champions League final, Ballon d'Or clause, you're getting wages you've never seen. You're never hitting that in your life. You're never hitting those in your ever. So it's never happening. You're just adding million bonuses to make his wage look like he's going to get like 1 mil a week or something.
Yeah. Scott, you also know how you bring your wage bill down? You don't have 40 players on the wage bill.
Yep.
That's also true. Yeah, that's very true.
You know what I mean?
That's
like
the problem.
I'm looking at it now. Mark Huey's on 50K a week. Like, Mark Huey should not be on 50K a week. Mark Huey shouldn't even be here, but 50K a week, like, that's crazy.
KG, I know that number, and I still forget it every single time. And I forgot it this time. I was drinking and nearly spat my drink out as you said that. I forgot he's on 50K a week, and I must have read that about 5 times.
Yo, he's. I'm looking at it now. Lavia and Gusto are on 45K, right? Major minute. Major
That's
minute.
disrespectful, Lukey. That's disrespectful,
Right.
Lukey.
Yeah, disrespect. Even Sanchez, right? Like Sanchez, even though I'm not a Sanchez fan, Sanchez is on 60K a week. 60K. Like that's crazy to me. Like the Stubo is on 40K a week. Like that's not like that's just
low key. That genuinely is disrespectful to like listen. I know we cook Gusto all the time, but if I'm Malo Gusto and I'm hearing these some of these other men are getting the wages, I'm gonna need to get off for a raise.
But this is the thing, like KG, you're still
No. Oh my god. No.
No, I'm not even joking.
So when he finds out Giyu's making more than him,
you're still with it. How nuts is that we've got our 5th choice midfielder on 40K a week and our 3rd choice striker on 50. That's 90K a week we're spending on guys to touch the field once every 8 months. Like, why am I spending 90K a week on 2 dudes to never play a minute of football outside of FA Cup games? Like, that's 90K a week I can spend on anyone else.
Maldini said Guy should be on 14.
No, that made me laugh.
No, that should be £12.21. Danish fumbled that.
Man
That's
said
the
he should
minimum
work
wage.
McDonald's,
That should be fucking the minimum wage. No, so like the problem for me, I would just because like I want to add to this point is that there are some of these players there, like the ways some of the players that we buy. If I'm genuinely this like listen here, I understand Gusto over Loki. If I'm getting 45 man a week, and I see Thursday under the yo-yo,
bro,
getting 120.
I'm looking at it now. Hato, like I like Hato, right? Like I was out of the game yesterday or 2 days ago. There's only a couple players that can hang their head and not be in shame, and I thought Hato was one of them, right? Like fighting for everything. Just he was there. He was like he wasn't at the scene of any crimes. Hato was on 120K a week. Like Hato was on the same. He makes more than Levi Colwell. He makes more than Esteval. He makes more than Trev.
You've got the
Don't be
thing
your
there.
agent, man. Don't be
I'm
your
right in
Hatter
thinking-
agent. I don't know who he is, man.
Isn't,
Please help him out.
Isn't Kukurea on 190?
What's that again, Scott?
Isn't Kukurea on 190? I think.
175. But this might be his old one though, because
This is his old one. Because he got a 30K.
Okay, because I thought he was on 190. Either way, we're spending near as makes no difference 300k a week on left backs.
Yeah.
Crazy,
Yeah.
man.
On left backs, you know, not even wingers, not in central mid, not number 10.
Not on left
We're
side.
paying 300 bags a week on left backs.
But 3 or 2 of our top 4 earners are fullbacks. In 2026, fullbacks. Like, don't get me wrong, Reece James is worth every penny of it, but that's a lot of money to commit
All right,
to.
bro, we can go one further. I'm pretty sure if you want to look at defenders, it's 3 of the top 5, I think, are
Yeah,
defenders.
Fofana. Yeah, oh my god.
Fofana's on what, 200k, right?
Yeah, he's the highest earner. You're the highest earner.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to go.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Like I as bad as Garnacho is, I can understand Garnacho being on like 100k because he's coming from United. He's played in this league. He's got a little bit of a name, even though the name is sullied. But at the same time, I'm just like, yo, this is like Gabriel Slonina, who's our 3rd choice, 4th choice,
4th choice. No, he's not even 4th choice at this point, bro.
He's on 40k a week.
Multiple choice.
He's on 40k.
Yeah,
He's
bro.
on the same. He's 5k less than Lavia.
That's not bad.
That's insane. By the way, do you know how nuts it is? I'm looking at it now as well, KG. Bro, of our top 10 highest earners, number 1, Tosin is 10th. Side note, he's in our 10th highest earner. Of our 10 highest earners, only 3 of them are attackers.
I need to see what Tosin's salary was at
Bro, and this is why I said, by the way, the Tosin thing at the time, and everyone's telling me it's a good deal. We're telling people it's a
40k at Fulham. We tripled his wages. We tripled his we can't. Oh my god, we tripled Tosin's wages.
I scored a goal, bro. What do you expect? I scored.
I take all the abuse to get my wages tripled.
When they find out how much his
the
wages
kind of performances
are.
they
I hope the child support thing went on Tosin, man. I hope the child support thing went on Tosin.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I hope the child support thing went on Tosin, man. Because otherwise, man, I'm not having that wage, man. I'm not having that wage. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I know. The second he signed for Chelsea, I don't even know if he's married.
120 genuinely
he was
is a disgrace.
his significant other. Was
120 is genuinely a disgrace, bro. It's actually a disgrace, bro. I'm not even kidding.
Maybe he turns into like a beast. You know what I'm saying? Because like child support, Luca is killing it right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe the move, man.
Yeah, but the thing about Luca, he's getting first rounded in it, so we don't really care.
Okay, shut up. Anyway,
you know what I mean?
because this is what I've noticed. Remember, guys, what was the best time in Enzo Fernandez's season last year? It's when he had broken things up with his wife at the time and was hitting up baddies. Remember?
Yeah.
So my thing is, for all the married people in our squad, get divorced, man. Get baddies. Take other women. Maybe you'll play better. I don't know. I'm seeing a trend, okay? When players leave their wives, when they're divorcing their wives, they're
oh my god, Scott! I just looked at Neto's. Guess what Neto was on at Wolves?
Shit.
Oh, don't hurt, but like 50k.
50, yeah, you hit it. 50k. We gave him
tripled his wages.
Tripled plus 10k.
Hey, Jorge Mendes, you're a piece of shit. Well done.
me to cry.
Well done, by the way, to George Mendes, Jorge Mendes, however you say his name. Well done, but you're a piece of shit. Like,
Also, Marshall, you notice the irony. You notice the irony of bringing that Hazard clip when people were saying that it could be like Hazard. I hate you for that, by the way.
Who the fuck said that?
I want to know what he was on.
Yeah, that's insane.
What was
bro.
he on?
Crazy stuff, man.
Guys like Marshall are the reason why the sport is dying, man.
Before we
KG, by the way, KG, do not look at Hato.
Well, I know. I'm looking at Kukureya's right now. Kukureya's went from 50 to 175.
Did it go from 15k to like 110?
Yes.
How is that spot on?
It went from near as makes no difference, 17k a week, 17, to 120k a week. We gave this man 10 times his wage. What?
Yeah.
Even if he was I hear the prospect thing that Danish said earlier. I hear all of that. We times his wage by 10.
For a bet, don't get me wrong, and this is on caveat.
It's near as makes no difference, brother. It's near as makes no difference.
Why would you pay your backup? The only team that has a backup left back, I'd imagine that makes that much money.
I love this.
I would say is Liverpool, and that's only because Andy
AG, the reason why they're paying that is that, listen, man. Shout out to my guy. Was it called Danish? But we know what's happening to Kukureya in the summer. That's the reason why you pay that wage.
Scott, you want to know what Fofana was on before he came?
No, I don't.
Fofana was on 19k a week at Leicester.
What?
Yo, Fofana pays that in weekly speeding tickets, and then
goddamn,
200k.
What
Chelsea.
the fuck, dude?
To be fair, I can't even put it clear. That was Bowley.
Yeah, that was Bowley. Those last two I mentioned, Kukureya and Fofana, were both Bowley. But Kukureya is actually I'm not fussed about that. I'm just upset that we're paying a backup left back that's 120k a week. That is I better not, Marshall. You better not have any tweets up here on the next Casually FC stream about Hato renegotiating his contract. If we renegotiate his contract early,
I'll be honest. I'm gonna be honest. The reason why Hato is getting that wage, we know he's a starter next season, guys. Let's just be real.
That's cool. Do you know who isn't a starter? Mohammed. Do you know who isn't a starter? Liam Delap. He was on 100 in that. He's on 100k currently. He was on 20k at Ipswich.
What?
You heard?
Why are these players coming? Marshall?
I mean, I get why the young players, but you know how
No. United were paying Garnacho 50k a week. We are paying him 110.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know how Carragher used to always say,
"Goddamn,
why do young players keep joining Chelsea?" This is
we're
why.
paying them up. Yeah, this is why.
fucking Christ, bro."
This is why, because when we go to negotiate contracts, they say something outrageous, which you should when you're negotiating a contract, and then. But our problem is we just say, okay, that sounds about good, instead of let's negotiate. Oh my goodness. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's other clubs like Liverpool's, their wage structure is completely screwed. But at the same time, they awarded those contracts off the back of a Prem, so I can kind of understand it, because you're rewarding success and their club legends, even though they were bad contracts and we all knew that they were at the end of their career.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you're going to pay somebody the bag, pay the guy that just scored 30 goals in the league with 18 assists.
Yep.
Don't pay the guy that's your backup left back who's not. I'm killing Hato, but I apologize to the Hato community and the Hato family.
I think that's a fair thing to do in terms of because again, I said even though Danish is right in terms of he was a young talent, there is no world in which his first contract, by the way, for joining Chelsea, you are timesing it by 7 or whatever it was we did. That's ludicrous. If you're signing Hato, cool, pay him. He's on 17. See if he'll take 50 to 60. Because then there's scope of if he wants to improve his contract, then there's scope to go up. If Hato wants to improve his contract now, where's the scope of him currently going up?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
What you've done is you've taken
kind of locked yourself in.
You've gone straight to the top, and there's no way of going up, brother.
We're the Saudi Arabia of young kids, man.
Huh?
That is nuts.
That's insane.
That is nuts. I'm also looking at Gakpo's salary. Gakpo got it from 120 to 250. That's also robbery. He needs to give that money back, because he is not that player. But I get it. I get it when Premier League clubs say we need to bring the wage structures down a little bit. But at the same time, I'm you know what would help? not giving bumper deals and not extending contracts when you don't need to. Like, remember when we extended Chilwell when we didn't need to extend Chilwell, and then it just ends up, all you do is just end up hurting the potential list of suitors because it becomes smaller as there's only a certain number of teams that can actually afford
I would even go as far as making the argument that you didn't need to give Cole Palmer a contract extension when you did. Considering, like, yes, he had the great season under Poch, but then the season immediately after that, before you even waited for another repeat season, you already gave him a contract. What were you saying, Chris?
Wait, how many years left did he have at that point?
His initial contract was 8, and then he signed one additional year.
Maybe they did it because they felt like a pay rise because he's what, 100k maybe.
Yeah, but the point that we're trying to get at, Chris, is that what happens if he has?
He's one of the top players still, regardless. I know this season he's not been great, but like he's still been better than majority of attack this season, I would say, except for
But that's not what I'm getting at, Chris. What we're getting at is that, like, you already have players coming in at 100k a week or 120k a week with bonuses that are on 9-year contracts. If they have a good season, then you're setting this precedence that, okay, Palmer had one great season. He got a bump in his contract. Jackson had a great season. Remember, he got a bump in his contract too, and then he left the following window. So if I get one season, if I get back-to-back good season, I should get a bump into my contract every season. At some point, you're going to hit that, that ceiling of, all right, you're going to hit over 200k a week. Do you actually deserve over 200k a week? You already gave Palmer a bump in contract.
Yeah, but what Palmer's on 150 now. That's deserved.
Sure.
Like, I know he's not being like last season is a bit rocky. Had his moments for sure. This season, he hasn't been great. But like 100, so if he has... like even this season, right, when he's been playing badly, he's still been one of our better attackers in that field, except for like João Pedro. Like a lot of our attackers are actually quite bad.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
hypothetically,
as bad as Palmer's been, I think he's still underpaid for generally how good he is. I'm looking at Nico Jackson. So like Nico was on 10k at Villarreal. We put him on 75k, which is a little crazy. Like that should have been like 40, 50. Yeah. And then we bumped him up his base to 115. So if you're trying to, that's my thing is, if you're trying to sell Nico Jackson, which we obviously tried and we probably will, you're limiting by giving these like inflated deals based off of one season.
Yep.
You're limiting who they can go to because only a certain amount of teams, even a certain amount of teams in the Prem, are going to pay 115 for a striker. Right? Like Newcastle maybe would pony that up. Maybe Aston Villa would pony that up if they moved Watkins on or some other players. But other than that, like you're talking Arsenal, you're talking City, you're talking Liverpool, Spurs. None of those teams are bad enough that they would want Nico Jackson leading. Like we don't want Nico Jackson leading the line for us, and we're 6.
Hey man, we're already losing money on Marshall's favorite touchy player.
Wait, we're paying
on EPL Turf's. Actually, on EPL Turf's favorite player, we're losing money.
We'll make
guess what, guys?
Good money
he got another red card. He got a red card, remember, recently. You know,
we'll make good money on Nico because that loan fee is crazy from Bayern Munich. Like as bad as it was that we didn't sell him this summer and like we screwed him over with the whole like he was on the plane to Bayern, we told him to turn the plane around. That loan fee is worth taking it's worth taking a 55-60 million with add-ons because you're going to end up getting 70 plus his wages covered this year.
Any Welsh players, Chris, that we can buy that can improve the squad?
Nonsense, but there's also a big issue. Like you're talking about wages and everything. I see 3 left wingers: Mudryk, Gittins, Garnacho, all over 100k or 100k as well. So you'd get rid of like at least 1 or 2 of those players. If Quenda's coming in, especially 2 of them. And keep 1, I guess. And Fofana as well. I don't know if they want to like lower the contract or maybe like sell because he's on 200k a week. So there's a bunch of players.
We know Fofana just washed and he's taking too much of the salary. That's like 5 players for them.
If he did take a wage cut, I wouldn't mind keeping him.
But he's not going to take a wage cut.
Are we paying Mudryk's wages right now?
Yes.
What happened?
Are we paying Mudryk's wages or is he?
Yeah, he's getting paid. He's
getting
getting
paid.
paid.
I'm pretty sure his wages are suspended right now. I'm not.
No,
gonna
they're
lie.
not. They're not suspended because the
Because
club
that would
is
be a
backing
breach
him.
of contract.
No.
If
So
you're
the
caught
breach of
cheating.
contract happens when it's confirmed that he's been cheating. Right now, he's not being confirmed, and the club is backing him.
Brother, he's been suspended.
No. He's not been suspended. They have essentially said, we have found this inside of you. He's gone to the Court of Arbitration of Sport, okay, and they are still. He's still going through the appeal process. The club and the club themselves have said, we are backing Mudryk in this claim, right? Until that's confirmed. Until that's confirmed, otherwise, bro, this guy would not be able to, if he was on no wages from Chelsea, be able to rent out a League 2 pitch to be able to like slow train, right? And B, he's going to Disneyland.
I know my whole thing on it is
Marshall, he was at Disneyland today, bro. Literally.
my thing is like I've never seen so much uncertainty around a situation in sports in my life with a suspension. Like
true.
Where like he hasn't like I don't know where the B sample, like how long does it take to get a fucking B sample, right? Like piss in 2 cups, right? Isn't one A and one B?
They don't need to tell you what's inside the B sample, so we don't. So for example, right, he literally. So they don't need to reveal it. They don't need to know if we don't even know if it needs to be positive or not. Right. All we need to be told basically is what's happening with the Court of Arbitration of Sports result after the appeal.
Something.
Right. And the thing is, what's making the Court of Arbitration of Sports stuff really weird for me is that it's now been 2 years basically. It's gonna be almost 2 years now since this brother was banned. Right? Yeah. We've had 2 managers in his time since he's left. You know what I mean? So like.
I don't get it.
I don't know. Like, I don't know, bro.
I mean, if it came out positive, like that's. I mean, that like I mean, look, he's Eastern European, banned substances. Like you're already getting the benefit of the doubt that you were cheating because you know we remember we remember those days. But at the same time, it's just like. Yo, like make a fucking decision. Like this is this guy's career. Like 2 years of his career.
I'll be honest. If I'm him though, how much is Mudryk on KG? How much Mudryk on KG? Can you just
70k, I think it was. Huh? 100k, there you go.
100k.
Look at that. 100k a week. I don't need to play football. Cheeky money coming in on a week basis.
But I look at Mudryk as the kind of person that like he actually wants to play. Like even though he doesn't have it there mentally. Like I don't see him as the kind of person like he's not a Sancho type where Sancho is perfectly fine not playing and getting the bag. Like Mudryk, I feel like he actually wants to play football, but the situation around him is just so crazy.
You know what, man? Listen, at the end of the day, I understand that, but listen, shout out to Mudryk, man. He a real one, man. He making bread. You know what I mean? I can't hate on that, bro.
Yeah, no, there is a bit of an issue that proposes itself when you unveil the mask in terms of the wage structure that we have going on at Chelsea. And I mean, like I said, I was trying to tell Chris, if Palmer were to get another phenomenal season next season and were to, to suggest that we're going to give him a new contract after that to bump up his salary, at some point we're not going to be able to bump up his salary anymore and he's going to want to leave. Yeah. Like, it's just, I don't know. I feel like the way we reward some of these players may be a little too premature. It's kind of what I'm getting at. So time will tell. As for the club and how things are run, let's move on to the next topic, which has to do with the protests, ladies and gentlemen. It's moving and it's moving along. So let's get into some of these tweets. I'll read into a good amount of them. But we'll start off with one of these older ones that I had here. So just to show the dictatorship that we have at Blueco, anti-Chelsea messages are not welcome at Strasbourg. A banner from the Ultra Boys 90 which said Chelsea doesn't decide what happens at Racing was refused entry at the Manu Stadium on Sunday evening. We have here the Nada Project. They announced the following. April 18th, Chelsea versus Manchester United. Action. Protests march alongside fans of RC Strasbourg. Nada Project CFC is proud to announce the joint protest action in unison with 4 supporters groups representing more than 2,000 fans of Racing Club de Strasbourg ahead of Chelsea's match at home to Manchester United on Saturday, April 18th. As a result of the continuous erosion of values of both football clubs, we have decided to come together to make action with one clear, unified message: Blue Co out. Members of the Ultra Boys 90, Cop Seal et Blanc Fédération des Supports du RCS and Parisier section have kindly agreed to fly over to London and walk in unison with us on a protest march towards Stamford Bridge ahead of the match. Supporters of both clubs are invited to join us in this march. We plan to shine a light on not only the incompetence and mismanagement at Chelsea Football Club, but also the restrictions implemented by multi-club ownership, where clubs like RC Strasbourg are being stripped of their identities, and where long-standing and respected fan groups are being censored and repressed by brutal ownership. We believe this could be a seismic moment in the history of football, where fans of clubs from separate countries will come together to do what is right, not only for our clubs individually, but for the sport more widely. Together, we can force change. Blue Co out. Further on, Matt Law reporting here. Members of the Ultra Boys 90s, Cop Seal de Blanc, Fédération des Supporters du RC Strasbourg, and Parisier have agreed to travel to London to protest alongside Not a Project CFC to march against the ownership before the Manchester United game. Strasbourg fans will march together before the United game. The Not a Project CFC have said the following: we plan to shine a light not only on the incompetence and mismanagement. Did I read all this already? Yes, I did. This is already what I read earlier. So pretty much the same thing. Sources understand roughly 30 Strasbourg supporters will fly to the UK to take part in the protest against Blue Co. 30 is not a very big number, I'll tell you that right now.
No, but they're flying over just to do it. Like, that's still...
Yeah,
that's commitment. But
hold on, but one of the
it's probably more, to be honest.
One of the tweets you read, Marshall, said they don't want anti-Chelsea banners at Strasbourg Stadium, but they want it. But they're coming here to get the protests right outside our stadium.
So KG, so KG.
Is that maybe I read it wrong?
No. What you're saying is correct, but essentially what's happened is, so Blue Co, or essentially Iqbal and them lot, banned anything related to anti-process coming into the stadium. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Did you know this, KG? You didn't know this?
Yeah. So they banned anything. So they basically said.
Yeah. I'd heard it, but it's just funny to me. It's like, well, like Strasbourg, we all hate Blue Co. Like we need to be. We're in this together with.
I think their POV is that. Listen, I understand that we both hate them, but I think from their POV, they see it as more so. They love Chelsea more than us. Chelsea's their main bitch, basically. That's the best way to put it, right? we're doing everything for Chelsea.
I mean, I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, part of me, whenever Strasbourg fans complain, like, I don't want to be a dick, but I'm just gonna. Part of me is just like, bro, no one heard of your club until 5 years ago.
Listen. I think okay, we don't need to do that. We don't need to. We don't need to do that.
Disrespectful.
Text is a bit different.
For a long time, I played Football Manager. Strasbourg was never a club that I was taking over to bring them from the bottom to the top.
I mean,
I love French football.
That sounds like a top 4 elitist. You know what I mean?
It might be.
It is, bro. It is.
I'm just saying.
KG, I hear it, but he said this is the Marshall mindset. I like to call it. It's the Marshall mindset. You know what I mean? Listen, I think from a Strasbourg perspective, they have no control over their future. There's only a certain ceiling for them at the end of the day, right? I always say, I think of, listen, it's also, for them, it's a local sport. You know, it's a city sport and everything of the sort. And there's only so far you can go, bro, with what's happening right now. Yes, you may be financially stable with Blue Co, right? But at the end of the day, your future is not in your hands. You have no power. You have no say in your future.
I mean, you could replace Strasbourg with Chelsea, and that'd be the exact same thing. We just
I understand that, but
be a more international fan.
That's fine. But like, if you are looking at it from a multi-club model perspective, bro, who's the main one? Who's the numero uno that they all care?
Yeah, but
Chelsea. Strasbourg is literally in service. Strasbourg is literally in service of what's it
right?
called?
But look,
Chelsea.
but Marshall. I mean, but Ahmed, I'll use your same analogy, right? One is the side chick. One is the number one. You don't think the side chick and the number one know their roles? Like, this isn't like they're not fighting and interchanging weekly.
That's why
the number one hoe knows she's the number one hoe.
But
everyone else just has to fall underneath.
But the problem is KG. And listen, I used to think like you. This is so stupid. I used to think like you at one point, and then I made a trip to the UK, and everything made sense. No, you know what it is that like sometimes the side chick want to be the main chick, but as long as Strasbourg exists in this little blue coat pipeline, they'll never be able to be the main chick, and that's the problem they have.
But this is what I'm saying though. Strasbourg, if you go out and get a new ownership group, which they obviously want, are you willing to take the chance that being a number one to a shitty pimp, a broke pimp, is better than being number two to a rich pimp?
Yes, for them, they're happy to do that.
But you know what?
I don't think you understand. Before Chelsea came to them,
I don't.
By the way, before Chelsea came to them, these guys rebuilt their club. They rebuilt their club, bro, from brick by brick, bro. They went all the way down to like I think it was League 2, if I'm not mistaken, or it's like yeah, and built themselves up over like a 4 to 5 year period.
They nearly went broke twice.
Yes, and anyone broke twice, so they've done it before. They're happy. They're happy to do that. For them, it's like for them, it's about we wanna do what we wanna do with our own club. We don't need these other things.
I was gonna say, I think based on what I've heard from them, I think their biggest issue is the fact they're a feeder club, or they're viewed as a feeder club. I don't think that's their biggest issue, and I think
your players. Like nothing.
No, we do though. Like we do though.
But Chelsea fans, like, don't take it out on Chelsea fans. We don't want Barco. We don't want Omega. We don't want that sort of caliber of player. They're better than the caliber of player that you guys would probably have if you were left up to your own devices. But what I'm saying, like, I get it. Like, nobody wants to be a feeder club. Like, they want their own identity. They want the ability to rise, or realistically speaking, to drop as far as they can without like daddy pulling the purse strings and things. I get that aspect. I'm not a dickhead. I'm not an idiot when it comes to that. I'm just saying, like, sometimes swallow your fucking pride. Like, I get it. We all hate Blue Co, but you're playing in fucking Europe for a club. Strasbourg, like you said, was in League 2 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago that nobody ever fucking heard of, and now people are like, yeah, they're Chelsea's bitch, but at least they know about that bitch.
Yeah, I mean, I get where you're coming from. It just sucks because, like, even if Strasbourg were to make a team that actually get into top 4 and do something that season, like let's just say last season Rosenior got them into the top 4. This season they were UCL. They made a deep run. They had that Bodo Glint type of run. At least with Bodo Glint knows, okay, there's going to be people that want to buy these players. We can at least use that to rebuild something better and aspire for bigger things in UCL, bigger things within our own league, so on and so forth. We could try to win more trophies and that. You don't get that with Strasbourg. You don't get to have the hopes and dreams, because even though Penders might be having, goalkeeper of the season type performances, it's all temporary, because at the end of the season, he's going to go. Just like Santos, who was their star boy for a little bit. You can't build a team off of that. He's just going to go off to Chelsea now.
But Marshall, that comes with being, and again, no disrespect to Strasbourg Steve and all his fans, but that comes with being a smaller club. We've seen much bigger clubs than that. We've seen Monaco, right? Monaco won the league in 18-19, right? Mbappe, or not 18-19, 16-17. Mbappe, Lamar, Bernardo Silva, Bakayoko, Fabinho. They're going to get small teams, clubs get picked apart no matter who they are, what their history is. If a bigger club comes for your player in this sport, your player will ask to leave, right? Money's part of it. Part of it's prestige. Maybe some of it's playing in a nice city and things like that. Yeah. Like I'm saying, you're, instead of being a feeder club, like, this is why I hate the Bundesliga. Like, people love the Bundesliga, right? The 50+1, they're fan owned and all that stuff. And I'm like, well, what's the end? The end goal is a competitive league, and it's not a competitive league. Mm-hmm. You're not competitive financially with Bayern Munich. You're not competitive on the pitch with Bayern Munich. So, and the same thing with Ligue 1. No one's going to ever be competitive unless somebody comes in and injects a huge amount of cash. Mm-hmm. So I get it. I get it from what they're saying. And I get that they want their own tradition and things like that. I'm just saying, sometimes, like, if you want some of the nicer things in life, you need to kind of take the pain that goes with it. So.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I get both perspective. I understand that, Strasbourg wasn't really, like, for lack of a better term, a relevant team until Blueco came and really put them on the radar in terms of Europe and stuff. But who's to even say we're going to stay in that radar with them? And even if they reach anywhere, like, they don't have the, for lack of a better term, sovereignty that, say, like Leicester did when they won, the title. 1 in, 5,000 chance or whatever. They win the title. And although, Leicester right now is on the edge of being relegated to League One, at least they had a good few years where they were competing in that top 8. They made a few bad decisions. They didn't have to strip their club. Their better players didn't have to go to a mother club, stripped and start over from scratch. They were at least able to, okay, let's sell Chilwell here, let's sell Maguire, let's try to improve on this. We got Fofana. Like, they could have built a team that could have stayed in the Premier League for ages and then become respectable. But obviously that's not how it went. But that's how it could go if done right, which is with Strasbourg. But with Strasbourg, you can't do that now because you're just a feeder club. It's not even just a selling club.
I wonder what somebody else, like maybe Pete in the chat, might educate me on it. But what do Girona fans feel about Man City?
I know Troyes fans hate CFG. I don't know about other clubs.
Oh, I forgot they have Troyes too. Yeah. But because I'm trying to think of, I don't remember too many transfers going from Girona other than Savinho to Man City. But part of that too is because, to be honest with you, not many players could from Girona.
But I think that's the difference. With I think that's the difference as well with how CFG do it, in a sense of I know obviously it's not. Some clubs don't like it. I think the issue Troyes fans had was similar to Strasbourg fans in terms of, Savio, for example. Savio was bought by Troyes. He just never played for them. He was bought by Troyes, sent out on loan immediately to PSV, then was sent to Girona, then was sent to Manchester City. He never played for Troyes. They bought him. Well, they were the club that bought him, but CFG obviously owned. They didn't own PSV, but they owned them, owned Girona and everything. So I think that's the issue and I think that's where it comes for the Strasbourg fans. It's a similar thing. I think if they were buying some of these guys, or if they were selling some of these guys to us and we weren't owned, I think it's different. It's because they know as soon as there's a good Panicelli is a Chelsea player in a year or two. That's just a given.
Probably.
He's almost certainly a Chelsea player in a year or two. It's just it's a case of when, not if. Barco is a Chelsea player in the summer, probably. Even though they have these good things, there's an inevitability of...
We take it to the extreme.
Yeah.
Like I say, there's inevitability of not getting sold, because I think that's where it's different. I think they understand there's inevitability of some of these guys getting sold. I don't think they're under any illusion that, a lot of these guys are going to stay at the football club. They're going to get sold, hopefully big money for them. It's a case of if these guys play well, there's inevitability. If they go here, we just send them their scraps. I talked about him earlier, Datro Fofana. And since he's joined in January, he's played under 200 minutes in all comps since he's joined. He's played less minutes in all comps for them than Sarr has for us.
Yeah. They fucked up, the governing bodies fucked up by allowing multi-club models. Because once you start, you can't stop.
That's one of the guys we've sent there. Look at the guys we have sent there this season. We reloaned Penders, we loaned Penders there, that was good. We sent Sarr back there, cool. We loaned Anselmino, who's been perennially injured and played 2 minutes for them since January, and Datro Fofana. That's what we're loaning there. And Paez, who didn't work out, because that's more on him. But these are the guys we're giving them. Outside of, obviously, yes, they are buying better players, 100%, because we're just willing to spend more money, than their previous owners were. And the fact of, they are higher up the table. What are they actually getting out of this in terms of any good players immediately come to us and they're getting our scraps? They're not even getting guys that we're trying to develop at this point. We're just giving them scraps. Oh, we can't move Chilwell anywhere. He can go there. We can't actually get rid of Datro Fofana, even though he's having a good loan in Turkey. We're just gonna send him to Strasbourg to be third choice striker because Omega's injured. Oh, we can't Anselmino. We don't like the fact that Dortmund are trying to tap him up. So we're just going to recall him. We don't really have anywhere else we can sell him, but he might as well go to Strasbourg.
Yeah.
Like, I understand. I've said this from the beginning. When it comes to Strasbourg, I'll never tell them how to feel about their club because I can never actually relate to them as a club because I have not been in the position they are as a fan.
100%.
And I actually understand I can understand where they're coming from. Like, I can understand why they have the issues they have.
Even if you look into it, even the Olympiacos has issues with how Marinakis is running the club, because I feel like I heard of this in a video in passing like some time ago, that apparently Marinakis is kind of putting, ever since he's obtained Forest, he's kind of been putting a lot more attention to Forest and Olympiacos, kind of letting Olympiacos go to the wayside and become like irrelevant to an extent, even though they were in UCL. But they're not a fan of how the multi-club model is being ran as well.
They won't say that to Marinakis' face, though.
Oh no, no one will. No one would. No one would. But yeah, even Marinakis, the way he's running, like if he's running Forest this way, imagine like on a bad day how he could run Olympiacos. Olympiacos has more history too, and he wants to pick up another team apparently too, a third team, or he may already have a third team.
Plus, he's Greek, so he probably has higher, like bigger connections to like government people there, and so he's probably just doing the madness at Olympiacos.
Yeah.
But no ill words towards you and your family, Mr. Marinakis. All the best, just in case.
Yeah. But in terms of the protests, like, listen, I hope there's a good turnout. I really do, because with better turnouts, we could probably get, you know, this is just me being hopeful, we could probably get change. But honestly, like, you can't expect anything without doing something. So if anyone wants to go to the protest, if anyone happens to be free that day, I do urge you guys, go to the protest, Blueco out, all that fun stuff. Especially if you're one of those people who are pretty vocal online, who have been vehemently against this from the get-go. You should probably be there. And for those who, you know, this season was a straw that broke the camel's back, myself there, yeah, by all means, like, protest. I really don't see any reason why not to.
You know what the issue is, Marshall? The issue is,
what's
Marshall,
the issue?
I want this protest. I'll probably go to see how it is and everything of the sort as I did for the last one. But the thing for me always comes, there's something that it comes down to, guys, yeah, which is that you've had a few of these ones now. Even if the Strasbourg is, I think they're saying that only 30 Strasbourg guys are coming. Not even 2,000. It's now gone down to 30, for example, right? Which isn't great. But either way, like, you know, we have these protests, but the problem is they're not being hurt financially by these protests, because you know why? People go into the game, full house as usual, because it's gonna be a United game, by the way, and then the next game as well, and then, you know, we move.
But you know what though, Ahmed, though, they're gonna be hurt financially by just their business operations, because when we don't make Champions League this year.
But that's what I was talking about, KG, right now. I feel like for me, the only way I can genuinely see them in this moment in time working, it has to be the financial aspect of them not getting to Europe. That's the way it has to work.
I know.
I understand that, but there is, like, to an extent, like the public damage that it will do, right? Like, it's gonna be bad for publicity.
Marshall, we've had free protests, and we've had free protests. Yeah, if my memory serves me correctly, right? Mm-hmm. How much of a public damage have those three done for us? Right. Listen, there was there's
consistency too on the day. You got to be consistent.
No. The reason why I'm saying that, right, is that if you look at what happened right now, for example, right, so we had the protest announced, and what got announced the next day that was almost complete. The Riverplate to Chelsea
Kenda
model.
and Isugo.
No, the Riverplate to Chelsea model got announced literally the day after. We got the protest announced.
I was gonna go over that next, actually.
Right, and so, like, do they really? Do you think they give a fuck?
They won't, but I'm sure there's a threshold where eventually it's like you got to do something about it.
It's got to be something happening at the matches instead. Like, people have to start just leaving seats empty. It has to look bad during the broadcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's the only way. Like, we started protesting before Brentford, and then we won, and then we beat Paphos, and then we beat Palace, and then people delude themselves into being happy again.
Yeah, you know what though?
The consistency has to come. Yeah,
it's kind of crazy though, because even from rival fans, there's no one sings the praises of our ownership. Like, even rival fans, like, I go on panels and
No,
they
because
banter me about.
they're not redeemable people.
Yeah, and I'm like, the media doesn't cover Iqbali and Boli in a positive fashion, and I know the English media is.
Well, unless you're Simon Jordan, then
Yeah, and I know they're primarily like a negative click-based media, anyways. I mean, that could also be true about the U.S. depending on your politics and stuff like that. But
yeah,
no one, like, from the jump, everybody, a lot of the big media pundits were all saying this model will never work in football, and it's almost like they're just trying to prove these people wrong, and all they're doing is slowly proving these people right.
But it's not just that. It's like, that's true, but it's also like, if you count the stories in the country, like Spurs getting relegated, Arsenal winning their first league title in a generation, and like Manchester United having some sort of resurgence, Liverpool also being a car crash, like we're actually not an interesting story, I think, nationwide in the UK to talk about.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for 4 years. We're actually, it sounds crazy to say. Actually, no, I don't think it sounds crazy, because I think anybody would agree with you if they thought about it for more than 10 seconds. But Chelsea under Roman were infinitely more polarizing and interesting than we are now.
Yeah. So what are you saying? We need an oligarch back, huh?
We just need to like actually get back to doing crazy shit. Like, we're not a crazy club. It's a very comfortable club.
I think we're crazy. We're just we're a different kind of crazy.
I think this is where, for me, and this goes back to what something Ahmed said earlier, of for this to get better, in a sense, it has to get worse, because he is right. Like, for us to get covered again to the point where, like, we have to be covered like Tottenham on. Like, I'm not saying we have to go 17th, but I'm saying if we're languishing mid-table, like we're 8th, not like we're like 9th, 10th, and we're getting embarrassed on a weekly basis, like, bro, that gets covered. All of a sudden, we're in the public eye a lot more.
Bro, I have people who like casually consume Premier League stuff, and they're texting me being like, yo, like, are Tottenham actually gonna get relegated? And I have to break it down and be like, dude, dead ass, yes. And they're like, wow, that's fucking crazy.
Today, I think they actually might, on the side note.
No, I think they're down. They just don't know it yet. Today was it. Yeah.
All right, fellas, I gotta get out of here. Big up to all my Strasbourg fans. I'll see you. I'll see you at the next Strasbourg.
Man, when they come for you, I will not stand in the way, brother.
There's only 30 of them. I'm fine with that, Pete.
That's fine. That's fine. That's like 400 bricks.
Ahmed, you're on mute.
So Strasbourg Nation know about the Bridge Nation, man. They know I've been backing them since day one.
Know about the Bridge Nation, man. They'll pull up the Battersea to your fucking flat so quick.
Oh my
No, but like, you know what it is, Marshall, right? I always say that you have to hurt them financially, right?
I agree.
And the main issue comes down to, like, if it's like any semblance to the protest that I went to against Brentford, then it's GG's. I'll be honest, mate.
Protest that you went to, not the protest that we went to?
Yeah, and that was the last one, Marshall. That was literally the last one. That was against Brentford.
The protest that you went to, Ahmed, not the protest that we all went to?
Sorry, my apologies. I forgot to add that. My apologies.
You forgot. We were at Ahmed. 80% of the current active panel, well, 60% was there.
Oh, yes, that's good. 60% of the whole panel was there. So, like, we all went there. I remember there's, like, even a video on my Twitter, if you want to have a look at it, right? And essentially, we legit showed everything. Like, it wasn't that great. You had like some of the main reporters there, like at a glance, if you know who they are. But
the ESPN dude, Simon Johnson? No, wrong name, right?
Yeah, Simon. One of the ESPN guys was there. There was like a couple of guys that were essentially there, right?
Was it Simon Johnson or was it the other one?
I don't know, but you saw the ESPN.
I want to say Simon Jordan.
Who the fuck am I thinking? You saw him. You saw Haters TV was there. You saw some of the.
Who's the other dude I'm thinking of? It's not. Who's the other one? Simon Jordan and Simon Johnson.
What you mean, Liam Toomey or Simon Johnson? Simon Johnson's the athletic guy. He was
Simon
there,
Johnson's
but
another dude. I saw there's another Simon.
Simon Jordan?
No, that's
Simon Jones. Simon Jones or something.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
there's another one similar to that. I can't think what his fucking name is.
Hey man,
it's not Matt Law. Matt Law wasn't there, but Matt Law definitely wasn't there. I can tell you that for sure. But from what I can see, there was Miguel Delaney was there, by the way. I think I'm not mistaken as well. But he's of the Independent. He's Simon Phillips.
That's who the fucking person I'm thinking of. That's who I'm thinking of. Thank you, EPL.
But big up to EPL. But like essentially, in general, right? they need to be hurt, as I've always said before, financially. These protests, guys, we've had multiple happen at this point. We've had 3 in a row happen. This 4th one, I'm not sure if listen, I hope it goes well and everything like that, of course, but like
Fourth one.
This is the 4th
This is the
one.
third one.
This is the third one.
Oh, is this? I thought it
You
was
guys
the
are
4th
just-
one.
Yeah, no. So the first one where everyone chanted Tottenham chants, and it was
Yeah.
a mess. That was the first one. That was the
Under
big
Maresca.
one. That was the mess. The second one was the one no one turned up to. While I was there. You, me, and Pete were there.
Hey,
Fine.
man, we were
This
there.
is the third one.
This is the third
We
one.
were outside Konakai or whatever that bar is.
Yeah. But essentially, listen, this is the third one. You know, you want to hope there's going to be some big numbers. But as I always say before, bro, the fundamental problem of a lot of these protests is that essentially the internet protests, right?
Yeah.
You've not got fan groups. Like, yes, now you got 30 guys from Strasbourg hopefully coming over. Maybe that might change the semblance of stuff. But like, if you don't have the fan groups for Chelsea or
Yeah, if you don't have the boots on the ground people like actually
Yeah.
coordinating and
Yeah.
connecting dots
exactly
on the day, it
Yeah.
won't look like how it should. It won't be unified
Yeah.
enough to send an actual message. It'll just look like people that are pissed off over results.
And I
Yeah.
think to add
And I-
to one, I had one more point, and it's all yours, Marshall. The problem is, I don't know, like, I've not spoken to these guys, not a project, but I would be interested to know why these fan groups aren't adding to these processes. Because, like, you don't hear them say we're gonna protest, you don't hear them do any of this. We're not here to add our voice, or we're not here to agree with these guys, right? That's something that needs to be discussed, right? Because like, why are
promise
these
you-
guys not adding their voice to it? Because for me, the only thing I can think about is that I know someone mentioned to me before that some of these guys that have direct contact to the club, they discuss stuff with the club. So unless they are worried that they're going to lose some sort of access to the club, that's the only thing I can logically think of as to why they're not adding to it genuinely. Maybe something else obviously involved.
I think there's a few factors, right? Like, I think one factor being that for season ticket holder, we have on average the oldest season ticket holder fan base, right?
Yep.
Something along those lines.
Yeah, we do.
That makes sense, though. Just being at the bridge for a week, that makes sense to me.
It's just exactly, and a lot of these guys, like, and I've said this before. I said this even during my vlog. A lot of these guys don't genuinely care what's happening in the background. They just they go to a Chelsea game. They have a season ticket already. They go watch the team on the field. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, they complain about it. They leave the stadium, then they go to the pub, and then the next day is routine. Like, they don't see what Begdad Bali is doing. They don't see who they're recruiting. They're just not tapped into the Chelsea like the online fan base are. And when you're not tapped into it, you're probably less likely to care as much about the things going on in the background, the financial stuff, and all that shit. So it's for having we're kind of battling an uphill battle where I think the only way this works is with consistency and consistently protesting and letting people be more aware. Those, especially those people who aren't like on the pulse of what's going on at Chelsea foreground and background, making them more aware of how the club is being run poorly and hopefully growing from there. Because I guarantee you, if this is the last protest we have this season, by the time season tickets are available, everyone will have forgotten what they were even upset about and will be ready to purchase or renew their season pass.
I don't think so. I think people will renew, but no one's going to forget why we got upset unless results improve.
I don't know, because like the way I'm thinking, like strategy wise, like it'd be smart if we continue doing these protests, maybe once a month or whatever, just to get the ball rolling, and then you have a protest right before the season's about to start, just to give a reminder to fans, like, oh yeah, this is the same club that was doing all this bullshit last season. With why should I buy a season ticket? I mean, you're probably right, Pete. There's probably still going to be people that don't give a fuck and are going to buy season tickets, but I feel like there are fans that just...
In terms of fans that are just forgetting and be like, here, take my money after you charge us like a fucking 10% raise season over season for season tickets for no reason, they're going to get mad because, like, what you're not factoring in is fans on the ground are paying way higher prices than it was at the end of Roman's games. How much talked about it? For Champions League games, he's paying like 40% more.
I literally, I want you to understand, it was 73 quid for the Chelsea versus PSG game. Okay?
Yep.
And that's in the Matthew Hall and lower. So I want, for context, I told you 4 years ago, AC Milan Chelsea only cost me 34 quid or 35 quid. It was like 30 to 34, stuff like that. So you see the gap, right? That is
So fuck what I said. That's like 100% more.
Bro, that's a lot more, bro.
No, big time. And it's just like, I would hope that maybe with more protests comes less purchases of a season ticket. Because that means less
The deeper they reach into people's pockets, the more upset people will be.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest, Marshall.
Yeah. Talk to me.
That's the season ticket one is just a weird conversation to have because I don't think you're ever going to stop people from buying their season tickets to a point. I'd obviously be some people that won't, but getting a season ticket is so fucking long.
Yeah.
Like, it's such an arduous process you have to go to because you have to. I think I'm correct. Obviously, I don't have one. I think I'm correct with this though. So I think it's a case of you have to get a membership, go to enough games and accrue enough points across the season to qualify for getting one, and then be able to spend the money on getting one. At least I think that's how it was a few years ago. Like, I seem to remember that being the case, like 2018, 19. I don't know if it's changed. So you're talking about like people have put in the effort of trying to get a season ticket. You know, they've gone to games, whatnot. You're now asking them to then not renew at the end of the season, which I don't think they will do. There are other ways though that they can hurt Blueco.
No,
though.
but it's tough. You're right, because why like
Instead of just not buying
between
tickets,
yeah,
walkouts and stuff would be more effective to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think at least that allows people to still keep their ticket, but at least show
Or the other-
like walk out of
the
20
other thing-
minutes, come back 20 minutes later, kind of.
The other thing which I've said they need to, I don't know how possible this would be, because obviously with the checks that happen before the games or whatever, you need to take some. You need to stop the game, like in terms of one of the things that worked quite well. Well, I say quite well. It was we talked about like what's it called? Like stuff that's televised or the stuff the media pick up on, right? One of the things that did get picked up on in terms of ownership was when both Reading fans, I think Charlton fans did it a few years ago, and Sheffield Wednesday fans threw shit on the pitch to stop games. That got televised. So I'm saying, whether it's tennis balls, whether it's what Charlton did, which I think was bring like, they brought like these foam piggy banks, like to bring in.
Some teams will bring like stuffed animals and stuff.
Yeah.
Like Christmas time, and you'll throw them on to like donate and shit. We could just do shit like that, but just do it every week.
Yeah, throw stuff on the football pitch, stop the match, because that will get picked up, and the commentary team will talk about that. And don't do it for games against Port Vale where no one gives a shit. You need to do that against Manchester United, Manchester City, prime time TV when it's getting televised.
Yeah, don't do that at Saturday 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Fact.
I think for me, the whole, even when it comes to like the season tickets, our season tickets in comparison again to the top six is the cheapest essentially, right? And so it's like £700 to £800. It's somewhere around that region, if my memory serves me correctly, right now. Yeah, Arsenal's, for example, is 2,000. I know that for sure. Like one of them is like one of the season tickets is like 2,000k. Okay, so the point I'm trying to make there is that even let's say from that perspective, bro, it's hard to not accept that sort of thing, bro. And you know you can even spread those out, by the way, over a 12-month period to pay it. So can you imagine that? So do you know what I mean? That's like almost £60. Basically, you're paying like one ticket at home. Essentially, is like worth around about 60 quid. So you're only paying 60 quid for like almost 19 games plus FA Cup home games, CARABAO Cup home games, even UCL home games. I think are included in this, right? Do you see what the issue is?
No, Ahmed, but like the price of other clubs doesn't really matter to the fans of Chelsea. Why should it matter? Like,
no, the point I'm trying to, so Pete, I think the point I'm trying to make is that even if I say, for example, I'm not season ticket holder, for example, but like if we say the season ticket holders that we are saying, say, you know what, we pass, we say no to the season ticket.
Yeah,
the guys that are behind you, the guys that are behind you, they may not even be a fan, for example. They may not even be a fan. The point I'm trying to say is they may not even be a fan. But if you from that price perspective, bro, guys are gonna leap at it.
No, like, true. I get what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. I do. I'm just gonna make the point, like, the bigger issue is the raising of the prices and how dramatic the raises are and how quickly it's happening.
Yeah.
That's what fans like. That's what fans are
8%
pissed
year on
about.
year. Yeah, it's 8%.
That's what fans are pissed about more than the actual price.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, hey, why am I paying 30% more than when you came in 4 years ago? If our team is no better,
Yeah.
where's that money going?
And
I know
also,
it's
like,
an over-simplistic way to look at it, but that's how fans are going to think about it. Like, why am I paying more? Like, for what? What are we paying for?
yeah. No, and I agree. And just to make things clear as well, like, for people who are season ticket holders, and I, you know, good thing Scott's here to remind me of this. Like, it is a process, and I would hate to have to, like, you know, let's just say in a hypothetical world, these protests do work and they start to actually change things around. It would be fucked up for me to give up my season ticket for them to fix things around, and now I have to go back to the beginning to work my way. Like, I'm obviously, I think it's unfair to ask people to just surrender their season tickets that they work so hard. It's not realistic either. So
It's also
it's
people to,
one of
like-
those things that even if you do have a season ticket, surely we have to be other ways to find a way to protest and to really show disdain against this ownership. And it is going to be a little scary at times. I'm not going to lie to you, because if it's going to be anything like Strasbourg, where fans will be punished for showing certain unloyalty or wherever, or chanting certain songs, then it's a slippery slope. It's getting a little crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but
you
like,
gotta do it.
They can try and censor Strasbourg.
Yeah.
That's fine. But like, the last thing Chelsea Football Club as a brand want to do is go to war with their own match-going fans.
Oof, yeah.
Like, the only reason I actually think Rosenior's job will get reviewed in the summer and he'll get dismissed is because the matchgoers have already deserted him. Like, I don't think it's going to get any better from yesterday. I don't think there's any coming back from that.
I agree.
He lost the away fans with that performance. And when you lose the away fans especially, there's no coming back.
Oh yeah. I feel horrible for those away fans. Like, literally. It's so shitty.
Yeah, like, he lost the players, whatever, but like, full time, 3-0 down. There's nobody there still. They're like, dude, fuck it, let's get out of here. It's like, oh.
They left early. I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. So, Scott, what were you going
They
to
can
say
say all this about,
No.
we're going to reassess in the summer. He got dealt a bad hand. I mean, it's a hand you guys willingly dealt him by dismissing the previous guy, but whatever. But yeah, the fans don't believe in him. It looks like the players don't really believe in him either.
Yeah, tell me about it. But,
so yeah, like, they're not gonna drive a wedge between them and the fans even further.
They shouldn't.
By either trying to silence them in terms of protests and stuff, or by forcing Rosenior on them for longer than that needs to happen.
Yeah, let's see how this protest goes. April, what was the date again? April 16th.
The next home game.
The next home game, April 13th or whatever. Obviously,
That's not is it the next home game? Or do we not play City first?
Oh, you're right. I think we do play City first. Let me just double check real quick. Chelsea.
We have 3 straight home matches coming up.
Yeah. So we play City. So is it? Let me open this up again. I just had it.
I worry about the viability of this protest, though.
I do too. I like, based off of what happened in the last one, I'm like, oh my god, if this turns out to be another one of these, you start losing more and more legitimacy or more seriousness the less successful these protests are. Like, building off of that first protest and then going to this one, it just doesn't look good. April 18th.
It looks too much like they're protesting the form.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. That's just why I'm saying you got to be consistent with it. April 18th, which is the day of the United game. So yeah, April 18th is when they have the protest. We do play City before that though. So that's the other thing too. Like, if we beat City and fans starts to be happy, how does that impact the protest? Do less people show up now as well? That's kind of what happened with the Brentford one, right? We ended up kind of having some good form going into that game, and then we saw the protest, and I think a lot of fans already were like, oh, we're fine, and then they weren't willing to protest. So it's another one of those situations where, damn, bro, like Let's see how the protest turns out, because if it's a poor turnout, I think it's going to be more damaging. So it's in everyone's best interest, at least for those who are against Blueco, to show up.
I don't even know like who could be a unifying voice in terms of dissent that everybody would get behind. I can't think of one person, or even a group of people.
Like the first thing that comes to mind are like obviously the social media people, like the YouTubers and all that shit. But even to that extent, like they were kind of promoting the protest this previous one, and even the turnout wasn't even that great. Even though they were kind of pushing it.
You saw how whatever, used Matisse's name, in that tweet to essentially like clout chase. We all saw that.
Yeah, of course, everyone saw that.
Do you then think like that group of people are going to stand behind Matisse and amplify a message? Like, I doubt it.
That's a good point. Yeah, I doubt it too.
I
doubt even Matisse want to cooperate.
I just don't know if we have a unifying voice to like take this task on and like truly lead it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, maybe someone will rise to the ashes, maybe, but that is important. I will say this is at least in terms of organization. If I'm picking up the pieces correctly here, if this is not a Project CFC or the guys that were in charge of organizing this in the sense of being successful, then that's getting the ball rolling in the right direction. At least getting an organization group to really organize and really invite with serious, like-minded people who are really for this, to get them to actually do this more consistently. Because it's one thing to just start a post or an event or some rando on Facebook or Twitter, spread the message, and a bunch of people say they come. But then having an organization, actually having someone or a group of people who are like-minded, who will attract other people who are like-minded to be serious about this. I think that's actually a step in the right direction. It seems more organized now than it was before, which could be helpful.
Because before, it was a lot of people that were just out there upset that the manager got sacked.
Yeah. It was just like an opportunity for everyone to
be upset.
Just be upset. Not really have a unison thought or really be, start a
I just don't want our protest to turn into like rage parties,
I hope not.
I'd rather just have people walk out after minute 75 or whatever.
Yeah. Even something like that. They have to start getting creative. That's the way I think about it. The last thing I want to bring up before I call it a show, ladies and gents, is I don't know how confirmed this is yet, but it looks like there's some interest between us and Riverplate having some type of relationship, sister club type of relationship, I guess. According to these sources right here, Riverplate is very close to reaching an agreement with Chelsea to sign an agreement that involves the exchange of young players. The arrival of Kendry Paez serves as a start of the alliance. That will be interesting, like a young developing farmer pipeline from Riverplate to Chelsea. I don't genuinely, I don't care. Like that's kind of
I'm anti this.
Yeah, why so?
That club produced Enzo. I'm cool.
Also, Julian Alvarez.
Okay, that's fine. I don't want to take the chance. Like, if we needed more poverty-stricken, racist Argentinians, just go buy them from Boca or something. We don't need a sister club there. I don't want to be sending people on loan to Argentina.
Or like a sister academy or whatever this is.
We don't need that. I'm good.
I think
Country's
the idea
got mad hyperinflation anyways. Man, I'm not bailing them out. We're good.
I think that's the idea too, that I was alluding at earlier in the season, where I could see them picking up a South American team. That way, any South American talents they have in mind or have scouted can go to the South American team first to really build up their confidence or their career, and then they decide, should we bring them to Europe, Strasbourg, or straight to Chelsea? Versus, taking the chances you have in Esteval and Denner and
I'm pretty
Santos.
anti-multi-club ownership spreading the Blueco reign of terror across the globe. I'm good.
Blueco reign of terror across the globe.
Yeah, we don't need this.
we need to spread democracy around the world. Oh my days.
No, we don't need to spread democracy. I'm not saying like we need to
kidding.
liberate people. I'm saying we cannot enslave them.
Fucking
This
Christ.
isn't like we're gonna save you. This is a we're not gonna kill you. You could still
Yeah, there you
die,
go.
but not because of us.
So, Peter, you're telling me this is the new gen British Empire. You know what I'm saying? The sun never sets. We're doing that.
Basically, this is what Blue
Let's
Coal
go,
argued.
what?
Oh.
Yeah, no, Pete's hilarious, bro. But I don't.
This is
I
what's
don't
happening,
disagree.
and Marshall defended it last time we talked about it.
Hey, man, sometimes imperialism runs deep, and sometimes, you know, it's
Hey, man.
No, you guys don't understand.
Nah, man, I was hoping. I was hoping and
We're
hoping.
shit anyways. Man, shut up. Now we're shit. Now what?
It's true, man. Hey, listen, I had hope, but that hope was crushed. It is what it is. I mean, I don't know how to feel about this, people. What happened?
Why was your hope crushed?
Man, Maresca. That was it. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. At that point, I was like, this isn't a project.
Yeah.
This is just
Good thing,
more
good thing
madness.
Daniel Finkelstein said the coach doesn't really matter.
Yeah, we're all
I think
good.
Daniel Finkelstein said that, man. Oh, my days, bro.
Fuck it,
Can't
man.
get serious with these guys.
Hey.
That's why even with this thing, they're gonna fuck it up. This isn't confirmed as far as I'm aware, but there looks like this is not the first tweet I read about it. It was probably like a second or third tweet I read about it. I guess this is something that's gonna happen this summer, but yeah, they want to use this as a way to like get more South American talents to go through a system of like, you know, multi-club model. If it does well, if they do well with the youngsters in Riverplate, then cool, we'll bring them over to Strasbourg or Chelsea. I'm just over it, man. I don't want any more youngsters. I just want good players. Just give me the best of the best, please. We don't have to be experimenting or taking these risks with young players anymore. But
Whoa, dude, you got Liam Delap. Watch out.
yeah,
You all right?
yeah, I guess we'll be all right. But yeah, we'll wrap it up there, ladies and gents. That's not really much else to talk on this. And yeah, we got international break now. So
Ooh.
big up to every
You
single
gonna do
one of
any
you.
international break content? You gonna watch real football?
No. I mean, I might watch some football, real football. I might watch Senegal versus Peru. Apparently, they're playing. It's going to be a
Why
friendly.
do you care about Peruvian friendlies for a World Cup they're not going to?
Because I just want to see what hope I have in Peru's youth.
Okay.
That's kind of really it. There's a new team. Let's see what the new team does. These new
Hey, I was
faces.
gonna
new
go to
youngsters.
Mexico for the World Cup playoff, but I can't go now.
Oh God. Oh yeah, you told me. Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
shit's cooked now.
I was gonna go to Jalisco for the
Oh,
playoff
you ain't going to
between
Jalisco
Jamaica
now.
and Congo, but that's not
You ain't
happening
going.
anymore.
You ain't going no Jalisco now. You're staying local, bro.
Yeah, that does not happen. And you know what's really sad? The tickets are mad cheap, and the flights are done cheap too.
Are they really? Because RSM was telling me tickets by us were like $750 for the Ecuador game, just cheapest.
No, for the World Cup playoff, not the World Cup.
Oh, okay. Playoff game. Never mind.
The playoff that's happening like next week.
Hmm.
Fuck RSM anyway. He's a bitch. He didn't want to come to London in 2016.
God
He's a bitch. Fuck him.
Big up RSM.
Ah, what the fuck?
This guy, you're too funny, bro.
Oh, I can't come to London. It's my 26th birthday. Shut up. Shut up.
We'll
We got
get,
free
we'll
room
get
for
him
and
next
everything.
time. We're going to get this guy to come next time. I
Oh, we had a
promise.
free bed and everything.
Yeah, man. We had it all set up. All right. I'm going to wrap it up. Ladies and gents, as per usual, thank you so much for joining us. Next stream should be Wednesday. I know I'm probably going to do an American Waffle tomorrow. But next stream should be Wednesday. I'm contemplating doing a Casually Chelsea show or an early call-in show. I'm probably going to save the call-in show for before we get ready for the return of Chelsea. So we'll sort that out when we sort that out then. But if you guys haven't done so already, as per usual, as always, I'd love to remind y'all, smash up the like button if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here. We're well on our way to 5K. We're almost at the 4K mark, so let's try to get that 4K mark, please, people. Preferably before the end of the season, and then we can really hit the nail on the grindstone, or put our nose on the grindstone really come the summertime. So yeah, let's get those numbers up. Hype up the video too if you're watching this in the future. Helps us out with the algorithm. Memberships, there's 4 different tiers. Starting at 99p, the first tier. If you're a proper casual and higher tier member, we give shout outs at the end of every show, and those shout outs are gonna go to my friends. Wait 1 second, I nearly fucked this up. Those are going to go to Laundry Sadiq, Soliman, EE, and Adrian. Big up to you guys, match going casual or higher tier members. Big up to everyone else who's also a member. We'll see you again soon, but as per usual, you guys have a wonderful night. Stay casual and peace.
Good night, guys. Pajita and sleep.
Jerk off? Oh, but he didn't sleep.
Yeah, and sleep.